Let's get nasty on a Friday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter, 201. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Jamie live in Seattle, where the Blues will take on the Kraken tomorrow night. We got plenty of Blues coming up, including head coach Jim Montgomery at 5 o'clock. So we'll talk to the coach following back-to-back losses. Pick Jamie's brain on some of the lineup that we could, the lineup constructions that we could see, line combinations that we could see for the Blues. But let's start off with your St. Louis Cardinals, who host the Philadelphia Phillies this weekend at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals, boys, I don't know if you guys have been watching or not, have struggled a wee bit from a pitching standpoint.
No. Anthony?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, guys. Wow. Tonight, Andre Pallante will take them out. Now, Pallante's been solid. He's been sound. Tomorrow night is where maybe the issues start to arise. Miles Mikolas and his 11.25 ERA.
The more the merrier, right?
No. This is golf.
The higher.
This is golf. Lower score, better. Not bowling. Golf.
It's like points in basketball.
No,
you want higher points per game.
No.
25, 30. You're balling.
Well, you're right on the basketball, Carey. Nope. ERA, you want as low as possible.
Oh.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
It's strange, Jamie.
You know what, guys? Trust but verify. I'll look it up, but I'm pretty sure lower ERA equals better.
Okay.
So Pallante,
You have to be angry about it.
Mikolas, Liberatore. That's the pitching. If the next time through the rotation goes the same, do you guys think the Cardinals will make a significant move with the starting rotation?
See, you put an extra word in there that I didn't think was required or necessary. When you said significant, I'm going to say no. Because
Do you think they'll make a move with the rotation?
Okay, no.
So it didn't matter. The word didn't matter.
Nah, it didn't. No. Hell no. Nah. Anthony, you have children that are of the younger age, and one of the things that the kids learn when they're younger is you get what you get and you don't have a fit. Mm-hmm. That goes for Cardinal fans as well. That's exactly what the organization is telling you. You get what you get and you don't have a fit. Shut up. Take it. That's what we're doing.
I don't think that's...
Wow, Carey, that's aggressive.
Yeah, that's way aggressive.
You don't think... you rather me be passive aggressive? We'll see how we'll sort it out.
We'll assess.
Give it time.
Yeah.
You which one do you prefer? You want me to tell you flat out, shut up and deal with it, or you want me to say, no, we'll look into it. I'll look into it, Anthony.
I gotta be honest, neither feels good.
Which one do you want?
No.
You know the answer. I mean,
I want the straightforward approach.
There you go.
Jamie, what do you think?
Yeah, Carey's starting to show off pretty aggressive. It's going to be a tough 4 hours for us today. Just saying.
You should have seen Marsh yesterday.
Oh, he was spicy.
He was in
ticked
a
off.
horrible mood.
What was wrong with my buddy Marshy?
He was ticked off with the loss to Edmonton.
No, he was hot.
I care, Jamie. Maybe too much.
Nah, you can.
You definitely care. I worry about you.
Jamie, he was downright pissy.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm in a way better mood today, though.
You are.
I'm in such a good mood.
Marshy, what was it in particular that you didn't like?
The turnovers.
The scoring with less than 30 seconds left in the game. What else you got, Marshy?
It was more so just like the turnovers and the details that Jim Montgomery's been harping on. They did not seem to, do that the other night. And, I thought there was a lack of scoring from anybody but the top line, and it's just a trend that I don't love seeing here late in the season, and I like what they've been doing in that winning streak, and I wish they'd get back to it. That's just it.
Okay, and when you say trend, Marshy, what would be trending over 2 games?
Well, I don't even think it's been a trend over 2 games. I think it's been a trend over the last few games, even going back to the win streak. I just don't think that they've been playing the same way that they did earlier in that win streak. And I'm sure they're tired, and it's an emotional win streak that they've been on, and I'm sure there's different factors that go into that, but they have not secured a playoff spot, and as a fan looking from that perspective, I think they have been trending in a different direction than I would like to see heading into the playoffs.
All right, well, so is the Cardinals rotation, for that matter.
And I will not push back on that at all.
Yeah, just seeing what's going on with the Cardinals rotation, I mean, it's not even puzzling. Like, I think that's the most frustrating part for me, is that this is kind of exactly what we expected. And when they kept Michaelis and Matz, and, they shuffled the deck a little bit, they brought Liberatore into the rotation. And he's not, I'm not dogging on Matthew Liberatore. Other guys are way worse than he is. But I just feel like this is what the Cardinals were going to do all along. We knew this was what's going to happen, and we knew this was kind of what it was going to look like. Now, what can they do moving forward? I mean, they're under 500 now. I mean, with a blink of an eye, they went from 4-2 to, what are they, 4-7 now? Is that it?
I believe they're 5-7.
5-7.
Who's
You're
counting?
Right.
Yep, 5-7.
They're way better than I thought.
Yep.
But here we are. I think they've got to go with some youth. It's early, and I'd say one more time through the rotation and see if anything changes. Carey, what's wrong? Do you have gas?
No, I felt like it. I just got really depressed, though.
What's up?
Well, I one of the numbers that always stick out to me when I'm paying attention, it's goal differential, and it's run differential, right?
Yeah.
The Cardinals, man, how great has that offense been?
Really great.
Like, it's been outstanding, right?
Pittsburgh not as much, but yeah, overall.
But in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
10 hits a game, 7+ runs at one point. They are a -2 in run differential.
G-damn offense. The G-damn pitching.
It's bad.
It's a mess. But I agree.
I mean, it doesn't help when you give up 18 runs.
No, it certainly doesn't. No. Look, I think we can all agree that a youth movement is needed within the pitching staff. It makes no sense, baseball-wise, to keep Miles Michaelis in the rotation. From a money standpoint, for the front office, they clearly are they have subscribed to the sunk cost fallacy. We paid this guy, we might as well pitch him. That's how the Cardinals are thinking with Miles Michaelis. But it would make more sense in the midst of a youth movement where you're not really, the expectation really isn't to win anything of significance. If you're being realistic, go with the young guys. And I think we've seen enough out of Miles Michaelis over the last couple of years to know that he's just, he ain't great. He ain't good at this point. So might as well go with the young guy. But I don't think the Cardinals will do it.
Sorry, Anthony. Let me ask you a question here. Because you talk about sunken cost, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, we're paying him, we might as well pitch him.
That's how they think, not me.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
If you're truly thinking about sunken cost, then you can also just move on from said player, because you've already acknowledged that you're paying this guy money, and no matter what, you can't get rid of him. You're not going to get rid of him as far as a trade is right now, because there's no trade value per se for Miles Michaelis. If it's sunken cost, like a real business, then treat it like sunken cost and move on and try to improve your business, knowing that you've already committed a bunch of money to this one project, or in this case, this pitcher, and move on. DFA him, pay him anyways, pay him to go home and go find another job somewhere in the league. Doesn't matter, because you're already paying the freight. And what's it going to cost for McGreevy to be up? But he's making league minimum, right? Because it's a rookie contract. So I add that to your sunken cost, and it's really not that big of a deal.
Right.
Like, that's where they got to go, in my opinion, is just understand that the money's already spent. And just let it walk out the door then. That's fine, because you're paying that freight no matter what. But your fans don't have to see that rolled out there every 5 days. And if your team is getting, incrementally better and you have a chance to win more games this year, wouldn't you rather do it on the shoulders of a young guy that's out on the bump that you can maybe have for 4, 5, 6 years? Yeah,
because you also know that even if he gets hit around a little bit, he's learning at the big league level. He's learning how to work through some of the struggles. And I'm sure with every young player, if Michael McGreevy were to come up, you'd get maybe one good start, one bad start. Maybe you get 2 good starts, 2 bad starts. But you know that there is going to be some sort of experiences being gained. With Miles Michaelis, you're just flat out throwing him because he's making $17 million this year, which does nothing to your outside of irritate your fan base. It does nothing for them from a positive standpoint. But I just don't see the Cardinals making a move, even if it's bad again, one time through the rotation. And I don't even know if their thought is, well, at some point Miles Michaelis is at least going to be average because he hasn't been over the last 2.5 years now. So you'd have to be in serious denial to think that you're going to get anything remotely positive out of him. I know he had the first start was okay. I realize that. But if he goes out there again and it looks like what it did at Fenway, and it might because this Phillies lineup obviously is loaded, then I just don't know how you can justify. If you care about your fan base, I don't know how you can justify keeping him in the rotation, not going with the younger guy.
That's my question or my concern. I mean, we're talking about obviously one performance, one guy that has been struggling for a few years, right? What are you trying to?
So we're not talking about one performance.
Well, yeah, one performance this season. But what are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? Like, what is the ultimate goal? Is the ultimate goal, like, I guess that would be a question for Ali if, Michaelis has another poor start and then you trot him out there again. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? What is the goal? What is the ultimate goal for this season, for this player? What are you trying to do? Because if you're still sending him out there and knowing that he's going to get beat up, what's the purpose of that? Who is that serving?
And let me just go ahead, Jamie.
No, I was just going to say, we've been through this before, okay? And when we went through this before, I was willing to go through it because that guy's name was Adam Wainwright.
Right.
And Adam Wainwright, his last 2 seasons, it was not the Waino that we knew. Whether he was battling injuries, old age, fatigue, whatever it was, I don't care. But we were willing to go through that. Even though we didn't like it, we understood why we were going through it. Because he's one of the all-time great Cardinals and very beloved in the community, all that stuff. You can't go through that again with a guy called Miles Michaelis.
Right.
He doesn't have the equity built up like Adam Wainwright did.
100%.
So that's just my thoughts.
Carey, if I were to answer that question, just looking at it objectively and saying, okay, what is it that they're trying to do? My only guess would be make sure that when you do go to Michael McGreevy in the rotation, you're as deep into the year as you can, so it doesn't become an innings problem. You have to shut him down later on in the year.
But if Miles Michaelis keeps performing poorly, you're essentially punting on the season.
Yeah, I mean this pitching staff is so bad that I don't know how the Cardinals can expect to compete.
That's a shame, and it's a shame because there has to be a point where you adjust, right? You can go into something with a plan and say, oh, this is what it's going to be. But then if your offense performs as well as it does, then you should shift philosophies. Your plan should then change. Part of the problem that people have is they're so headstrong. We're going to do this. And then new information comes in and they're like, no, we're still going to do. No, you got new information.
Right.
The damn offense has been playing lights out. So how do you help? Because you went from a team that we third, fourth in the division with an offense that if they stay on that trajectory that they've been on thus far, minus the last Pittsburgh game, you could say, oh, this team could win the division. Oh, this team offensively, which means you should shift your philosophy in terms of your pitching and say, yeah, we got to get better now. And we have to make an adjustment now. Because I got something new that showed me that we have a capability to be really good in this department. Yeah, but we're lacking in this department. I got to get better because it would be a wasted season if that offense can put up 5, 6, 7 runs a night and your damn pitching staff is giving up 8.
Right.
That to me would be very embarrassing. And it would be an embarrassment on the coaching staff, on the front office, on everybody involved to not make a shift in philosophies and say we need to do something better.
I agree. That's Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. 7:15 tonight. The Phillies will take on the Cardinals. Open up a new 3-game series at Busch Stadium. Andre Palante will square off against Aaron Nola. The lineup game. We've avoided the lineup, so we'll play the lineup game next on 101 ESPN. If you're doing a home remodel of any sort, whether it's bathroom, kitchen, basement, family room, maybe it's just windows or doors, call my friends at Mosby Building Arts. I've worked with them a couple of times now, but the one recent time was when we were having issues within our home because there was a pair of doors that were they weren't installed correctly a long time ago, and it's creating problems in our basement, actually. Whenever it rained, the water would come through the basement. Scary stuff, especially when you don't know what's going on. Mosby Building Arts, when they came out, they knew exactly what the issue was. They were talking about some patio steps that weren't installed correctly either, and it's like, man, this is a mess. But we got it fixed thanks to Mosby. They've got honest pricing, so when they sat down and they said, here's your issue, here's how we can fix it, and here's what it's going to cost, there was no hidden fees later on down the road. That's exactly what it cost for us. High quality work. The construction team was friendly. They knew what they were doing, and they treated our home like it was their own home. Every night they would clean up, and then the next morning they would show up on time, ready to go. The job that they did was outstanding, and I can't recommend Mosby enough. Don't go with the wrong remodeler. Don't risk it. Don't go with a company that you think you're going to save a whole bunch of money up front, and actually it costs you just the same, or if not more, and the work is poor. Call Mosby, 314-909-1800, or visit callmosby.com. You can schedule a free consultation, again, no matter what you're working with within the home, and you can see the difference for yourself. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company. The Cardinals host the Phillies for a 3-game set at Busch Stadium. This weekend, starting tonight at 7:15, it'll be Andre Palante on the hill, and he'll oppose Aaron Nola. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. Time to play the lineup game, boys. I feel like we haven't really played the lineup game much. But, I don't know. It's good to have it. It's good to have it.
Noon games and...
Yeah. I guess it always starts off that way. All right, boys. I think this is Lars Taylor Tatsui Newbar. Any issues with that?
Nope.
All right. Show us Lars Taylor Tatsui Newbar.
International superstar.
Watch out, they're running any walls or anything.
Good start, guys.
Good luck here. I don't know. What do you think? You think it's Wilson again? Or do you think he gets moved back?
Does he get a day off?
He had a day off yesterday. The whole team did.
Does he get 2 days off?
Why would you need 2 days off? He's a young man. He's not in his 40s, Anthony.
Do you think
I need
that,
2 days off. The hell you talking about?
do you think that Ollie was listening to the show yesterday and we sent a big enough message?
No.
Who's we?
Ryan from the Snake Pit.
Yeah. No.
No? All right.
I think he's still here.
Okay.
Jamie, what do you think? Oh, sorry.
Oh, Contreras?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see him not being here.
All right. Carey, go for it.
Show us Wilson Contreras.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
Okay, this is interesting now.
Is it Donnie? Who you got? Who you got? You don't put Victor Scott up here. You don't want 2 lefties back to back. But I guess that'd be Donnie as well. He's a lefty.
Yep.
Herrera is out. That would have been a good place for him. He did it once.
I don't think you move Arenado up.
I don't think you move Jordan Walker there either. Jordan Walker would probably at some point, if he were able, could fit in that 2-hole. It'd be interesting if they put him there, though. It's got to be a righty.
Well,
what you got?
Let's do process of elimination here, guys. We've said who we don't think it is, right? Like, we don't think it's Arenado. Don't think it's Donnie.
Could be Burleson. Even though the back-to-back lefties, I get that. But Burleson was the 2-hole hitter last year.
So I was going to say, for me, Burley would be my first choice. But my dark horse in this would be Jordan Walker.
Why you got to be a dark
Just
horse?
Oh,
What's that?
Jamie.
I can't even.
The hell are we
You know what?
doing?
I'm just going to bow out now. That's it. I give up.
You know what? I want it to be Jordan Walker now.
No, I don't.
Show us Jordan Walker.
High for every ball. Otherwise, plus it looks harder. The most important play in right field is what I like to call the janitor throw. Guaranteed out every time. I call it the janitor throw because it cleans up that are trying to take an extra base on
That's
you.
incredible.
Don't even know where to go from here.
I love when we fall backward into those. All right, so this is probably Donovan.
Sure.
I mean, it has been
Yeah.
Donovan. All right, show us Brendan Donovan.
Look at that guy. Vibrant, handsome, hair.
Okay. Nolan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Carey.
Show us Nolan Arenado.
A lot of people think you get in your mid-30s and your career's over, but like I always say, until they stop scouting, I ain't going to stop playing.
All right, so if Wilson Contreras does have a day off, then I think this is Burleson. If not, I think Contreras moves to 5.
Okay.
So do you guys think Contreras has a day off or no?
Well,
I don't think so.
like Carey said, yesterday was an off day, period. Like, I just don't know why they'd give him another day, unless they're trying to work on something, because he's clearly not hitting the baseball.
Right.
So I don't know. But I don't think he would not be in the lineup.
I like him here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jamie?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Show us Wilson Contreras.
No, no, no.
All right, Anthony. You're right. You got the big brain.
Then I think it's Burleson here.
All right. You go ahead and do it.
Show us Alec Burleson.
I thought I told you I'm the star. You're already acting like you're a star, and we haven't even opened yet.
I like Burley's. I think he might be my favorite.
I like that ending.
Yeah.
All right, so Contreras is out then.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, he's not going to bat any lower than this.
No, so Walker has been in this range, but obviously Walker's hitting second now.
What about Scott here?
I could
do
see
you feel about
that
that?
if you're moving guys up.
You have Scott.
So what do we got? We got Scott. We got
Pajes. Who's your DH?
Oh, good call.
Is Pajes? Who is your DH? Is Nolan Gorman back?
No.
He's not back. Okay. Who's your DH? Luke and Baker playing?
That could be.
Could he be here and Burley is the DH? Or he's the DH and Burley's first baseman?
Sure.
You like that, Jamie? Luke and Baker?
You like that? You like that?
Yeah, sure.
I don't feel like I like it. Show us Luke and Baker.
What a shame.
You know what? I've been wrong
Told
3
you.
times. 3 times, Anthony.
4th time's a charm.
I thought the 3rd time was.
All right, so
So who's the DH?
Is Arenado maybe DH? And then Sajay playing third?
Look at you with the big brain over there, Jamie.
It's just a thought,
okay.
You
guys.
want to go to JC?
Why would you have Arenado be the DH? I mean, I like
He's
your.
tired, Anthony.
Somebody's the DH.
All right. Yeah, I like your idea. It's the only one that kind of makes sense. It's just coming off the day off, and I don't know.
Have at it. You do.
Go ahead.
Show us
Jamie.
Thomas to JC.
What the H is wrong with you guys?
Son of a.
Victor Scott, man.
Okay, go.
Oh, gosh. Show us Victor Scott.
Not great.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
You're in one of those potholes
All
right now.
right, so let's slow down. It's either Mason Wynn that moved all the way up, or Pedro Pajes. It's the only
Maybe
two.
it's Pajes.
'Cause
Pajes
we
has
went
been
through.
hitting
We've
well.
already gone through these, so
Go ahead. You go,
all right,
Pedro.
show us Pedro Pajes.
Smithies, throw this at him.
You're out.
Okay, so if we work backwards and it's Wynn 9,
Scott.
maybe Sajay 8 and Scott here, or flip flop them.
Maybe you got Siani and maybe.
I think it's Scott, Sajay, Wynn.
Okay. You think it's
Go for
Scott? Oh, 7th, 8th, 9th.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, because I know I talked
you-
about
you
going backwards.
went backwards. You're
Yeah.
confusing.
Show us Victor Scott.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
All right, and then Sajay, Jamie, I'm gonna give him to you because that was your idea.
Yeah, show us Thomas Sajay.
Richard, do I have a mark on my face? It really hurts.
Nope, nothing. I thought I hit you on the shoulder.
My shoulder doesn't hurt very much, but my face does.
What?
Marsh, what was the idea behind that?
It's Tommy Boy. Thomas Sajay.
I was so focused on what they were saying that it just went over my head.
Plus, I like that line in that movie. So,
All right, Carey, you need a win.
And pun intended. Show us Mason Wynn.
Bring me that arm.
All right, run it, Marsh. Wow.
all right, leading off
8 shades of terrible there, boys.
That was bad.
in left field. Lars Nootbaar batting second. In right field, Jordan Walker batting third. Your DH, Brendan Donovan.
Oh.
Your cleanup hitter, third baseman, Arenado. Batting fifth, first baseman, Alec Burleson. Batting sixth, catching, Pedro Pajes. Batting seventh in center field, Victor Scott II. Batting eighth, playing second base, is Thomas Sajay. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Mason Wynn.
I don't believe what I just saw. Home run.
All right, Marsh, so, still the same. 3 for you, 1 for me, and goose egg so far for Jamie and Carey.
That's correct.
You got one?
First day, Arenado.
Oh. Wow. Didn't know that.
Sorry, Carey.
Did I feel that way?
Yep,
Okay.
exactly right. All right, Marsh.
Give me batting second,
Oh, gosh.
Jordan
Come on.
Walker.
Okay.
First
All right. Why don't you go ahead and give me Brendan Donovan? Please.
Is it on me or you, Jamie? You want to go?
Jamie.
Go ahead, Carey. Having a rough day so far.
Thanks. Give me Victor Scott.
All right. Lars Nootbaar, please.
All right, Jamie's got Lars Nootbaar, Marsh has got Walker, I've got Brendan Donovan, and Carey took Victor Scott. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Are the Blues trending in the wrong direction? on specific categories. Marsh is going to throw some out, and we'll talk about whether or not they're heading in the wrong direction, right direction, or maybe they're just status quo. That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cards back in action tonight going up against the Philadelphia Phillies. Andre Palante on the mound. He will square off against Aaron Nola. First pitch is at 7:15. The Battlehawks in action this week. They are 2-0 and they'll take on the DC Defenders on Sunday. 2 p.m. kickoff for the Battlehawks and the DC Defenders at the Battle Dome. And, of course, tomorrow night we'll have the Blues going up against the Seattle Kraken, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 8. Puck drop is at 9. We'll talk with Jim Montgomery at 5 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
All right, March, you have put together a couple of different scenarios or positional groups, I guess we can call it. And we're supposed to react to, are the Blues trending in the wrong direction on these specific topics?
Yes.
So take it away, Marsh.
All right, let's. I have a few different ones here. Let's start with the defensive turnovers. We've seen a few of those in the last few games. Do you guys think the Blues are trending up, trending down, or like you said in the tease, if the status quo, they're neutral? What do you guys think?
I think defensive turnovers are trending down. Well, how do I put this? The turnovers are trending up, but not in a good way. We are seeing more defensive turnovers. Or maybe, Jamie, if you want to clarify, maybe it's just more significant defensive turnovers. Maybe that's a better way to put it.
No, you're definitely seeing more turnovers the last 3-4 games. A little careless with the puck in Winnipeg. A lot of guys with no-look passes, but to the other team. You got to clean it up. It's trending in the wrong direction right now, and it's adding to some of the difficulties that the Blues are having in the last couple games. So, I don't like what I'm seeing with the turnovers.
Carey?
Agreed.
All right, the next one, bodies in front, whether that's in front of your net, clearing bodies in front, get them out of the way, right? Or bodies in front of the opposing team's goalie. Trending up or trending down?
It's trending down. Corey Perry got right to your goaltender, and, your goalie had to take care of his own business. Now, I'm not mad at the business that he took care of, but I'd rather see somebody else have to put him in a chokehold, put some mitts in his face, drop the mitts, put his hands in his face. Things like that, Anthony.
Maybe a rooster beak or two, Jamie.
Yeah, certainly the doctor sure ordered that. But no, I don't like a couple of the goals that are happening where guys are behind the defenseman and the defenseman are boxing out in front. The Corey Perry thing, that's part of the play. It happened, and everybody kind of served justice at that point. From Bennington to Jake Neighbors to Braden Shen, you got the reaction you wanted out of that. But I think they're doing a pretty good job of getting to the opponent's net. Oftentimes you look up and there's bodies in front. But defensively, they've got to clear the front of the net a little bit better. Get back to doing business like you were.
Sorry, my headphones just went silent there.
That's crazy. It's probably because I hit the wrong button. My bad. There's the cough button. It's actually the one I was talking to you.
Could not hear anything. I'm like, what's going on?
I didn't realize until I saw Marsh's face, and he was terrified. He thought that his radio station went out.
I thought the radio station just went blank.
That's my bad. Sorry.
All right. I'm glad I'm not going. Now I feel like Carey when I was making noises the other day.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Let's move on to team speed. Dylan Holloway not in the lineup, but do you guys still think the Blues still have good team speed?
I think that they've still played. Obviously Winnipeg and Edmonton is going to look a lot different. I still think that this team has got really good speed with the puck. We've seen we've seen general speed, right? We've seen skating speed out of guys like Jordan Kyrou, but I think that they have played very well and fast with the puck. Not having Dylan Holloway hurts, and it's going to look a lot worse against Winnipeg than it does against other teams.
Yeah, I think the team speed is fine. Obviously, not having Dylan Holloway does put you in a little bit of a bind, but Jordan Kyrou still skates pretty fast. He's flying out there.
Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, I know that we're hyper-focusing on Dylan Holloway and that whole situation, and I get it. He's had a hell of a season. But, you know, no disrespect to the player. It's not like you're missing Connor McDavid at this point. And I want him back as soon as we possibly can get him back, don't get me wrong. But the team's speed has not dropped off because of Dylan Holloway. He's a fast skater. But let's not forget that Dvorsky's pretty quick. Matthew Joseph's pretty quick. Like, anybody you've put in there in his absence is still moving around pretty good. The difference is that the dynamic of that second line has looked a lot different just because of the great chemistry that Holloway has had with Shannon Kyrou. That, you know, now it's forced Jim Montgomery to shuffle the deck a little bit and try to find some chemistry so they can start putting some goals in again. You got to start scoring some more goals. You got to get a lot more offense.
Yep.
We did get a text here from the 314 Marshy. It says, "Why?" with Conan O'Brien meme, and it says, "Blues wrong direction. They've won 12 of 14 games."
It's a damn
Enough
segment.
already. I was reading it.
Well, we're breaking down certain aspects of it. We don't have to talk about the Blues.
I'm the messenger, Marshy. Don't shoot at me.
I'm not.
And I know how hot you were yesterday, how pissed off you were. I don't want any problems. I'm just reading the text line, sir.
I think what the texter is failing to realize is that we're breaking down certain things, not the Blues' overall play over the last 14
Yeah,
games.
there's just certain.
Anyways. But again, we don't have to talk about the Blues.
We can talk NFL. You want to talk NFL, Jamie? Shadur Sanders may go number 9, may go top 3, may not go until late 20s.
Might go to your Steelers.
Hey! I hope he falls there.
Don't you threaten us with a good time.
Don't you threaten us at all.
Yeah.
I think we lost Jamie to begin.
I was going to say, his face looks like he's confused. Does he hear us?
No, he definitely doesn't
we
hear
definitely
us.
lost him.
He's so confused right now.
why don't we just keep talking about the NFL then, right? But what about forward depth scoring?
This one takes a hit because of Holloway. But when you were, during the 12-game winning streak, you were getting the depth scoring. I mean, you were scoring from damn near everywhere, and from all 4 lines for the most part. So I think the forward depth scoring has taken a significant hit because of Dylan Holloway. That injury, like Marsh, you were breaking down yesterday. That injury has caused you to not have the depth of scoring.
I mean, obviously, Dylan Holloway's injury. But I do think, as unfortunate as it was, you have gotten to see Snuggerud play more time. You have gotten to see Dvorsky get more of an opportunity. So you can evaluate those guys. And that was kind of a question mark that we had when those two guys were brought up. Where do they fit in, right? And we said it. At some point, you deal with injury, you deal with fatigue. And so those opportunities have presented themselves for those two guys to get a little bit more time on ice, which is always a good thing because you can evaluate what you have. And going into the playoffs, assuming that you do make it, you can make a decision on whether or not those two people particularly have earned the right to get time in the playoffs.
All right, 2 more here. Forecheck physicality. You guys think that's trending up?
What do you think, Jamie?
Oh, he's back.
He's back.
What's that?
The forecheck physicality.
The physicality?
Yep, forecheck.
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't gotten in on the forecheck like you had during a 12-game streak, but guys, I know they've lost 2 in a row here, but let's not get crazy. Let's just not get crazy. Talking to a bunch of the guys, they know they have to win these 2 games that are left, and that's what they intend on doing. So, yes, the forecheck hasn't been what it has been, but let's see what it looks like tomorrow night.
Wish you were here yesterday, Jamie.
I just feel like I'm being crushed for...
Yeah.
No, you're not. So
having a concern.
What they're saying is...
You're not being... I think you're taking it... Let's have a therapeutic moment, okay?
That's fine.
All right, let's talk, you and I. Just me and you.
Okay.
All right, so... It's okay. They lost a couple of games. I don't think you're being crushed. I think you're a very passionate Blues fan, and you want them to win the whole damn thing and never lose another game.
That's not
No. I think it's okay to want that, though.
Marsh.
Thank you, Anthony.
I don't think that you believe that that's okay, that's what's going to happen, but you want that to happen, and that's okay. They're not crushing you. They're not crushing your opinion. They just feel like, it's 2 games, and we shouldn't be so concerned.
You're not validating. You're not hearing him.
I hear him.
I don't think anybody's
You're not hearing Marsh.
I'm trying to explain the listener's viewpoint and how they're coming at him, so he feels.
But they don't understand. They don't understand how he feels.
He's passionate. That was the first thing I said.
He's not saying
I'm not saying they're
the young man is not saying they're terrible.
No,
they're not saying
there are
they're
some things that I've
There's
seen.
some things that
that I'm like, I don't like that.
And the fans are saying, hey, buddy, it's 2 games against 2 really damn good teams.
It's not just 2 games. They've been doing some aspects that I brought up, even when they were winning.
It's fair.
At the tail end of that
Winning
streak.
cures all.
If you're going to be the therapist, you got to at least hear him.
I'm sorry. You're right.
You got to at least listen to him.
Go ahead, sir.
My point is, if this continues to trend in the way that it has, I don't know how far you make it in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
And
if you keep, turning the puck over in your own zone, throwing backhanded blind passes, you're not going to win a series. If that's how you trend, I do believe this team can switch things up and get back to it. I think they can do that tomorrow. I'm just saying the trend is something that I don't think is great right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
I hear you.
Thank you, Anthony.
I hear you.
You're doing a hell of a job, Marshy. Don't worry about these guys.
Appreciate it. And even Jamie was saying yeah, these are some things that are concerning, but I also believe that they can turn it around. They have a few days off. They've been playing a lot of hockey lately.
Yeah.
I think they can turn it around. That's all I'm saying is that some of the things that I've seen, even in the win streak, was a little concerning.
I hear you, kid. I do.
But, they won 12 games. Who cares?
Yeah.
You're lucky you won 12 games.
Tell him, Marshy.
Oh, my. Now, wow.
Jeez. All right, last one here, Jamie. What about the goaltending?
Well, Binner wasn't great in Edmonton. I think he'd tell you that himself. Actually, I know he'd tell you that himself because he's been walking around the last couple of days with an absolute, not happy face going on. And which I like that because that means a pissed off Binnington's usually a really good Binnington. But I don't see a problem with the goaltending. Joel Hofer played really well against Winnipeg. Jordan Binnington, he's the ultimate competitor. After a bad game, I'll put my money on him any day.
All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. What's trending is next.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and if you are in need of new windows coming up, you need to get to know about Window Nation. They can replace those old drafty windows with energy-efficient windows from Window Nation, and those windows are built to protect your home with top-quality insulation and seals. It'll keep the cool air in this summer and keep that hot air out. No cool air seeping out when you turn on that AC. And then right now, if you go to Window Nation, you can get 4 windows free with every 4 you buy, 0 interest and 0 payments for 2 years. Pay nothing until 2027. And if you buy a house of windows, you can get a free entry door as well. That's why you need to reach out to them today at 860 866-90Nation, or go online at windownation.com. That window they install can be done in one day, and 96% of their windows that are done have a 96% customer satisfaction rating. That window also comes with a lifetime warranty, so hurry, don't wait. The sale ends soon. Schedule your fast in-home estimate right now with Window Nation, 866-90Nation, or online at windownation.com. Again, that's 4 free windows with every 4 you buy, 0 interest, 0 payments for 2 years, and you get a free entry door with a house full of windows. Reach out to them now, 866-90Nation, or online at windownation.com.
What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending, brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, Shohei Ohtani will resume pitching here shortly. We'll find out, when he's actually back and whatnot. But it looks like the Dodgers could be a little conservative with bringing him back as a pitcher. And, there's really no need to rush the guy. They already have 100 pitchers anyways. So, but Carey, you had an interesting thing that you wanted to bring to the table in terms of the most gifted athlete in sports and whether or not Shohei Ohtani falls into that category.
Well, yeah, I was looking at, how often do you get a guy that is a Cy Young capable pitcher as well as a MVP candidate or MVP award winner? In terms of the most gifted, talented athlete that we've seen, let me say gifted versus and not talented, because I think those are two totally different things. Automatically, I thought of the two sport athletes, Brian Jordan, Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson. Mm-hmm. I thought about a guy like Charlie Ward, who I don't think gets nearly enough credit for being a dual sport athlete, who won the Heisman in college and then played 12 years in the NBA. Who the hell does that, right? And then there are a host of other athletes that have done things like that. Where does Shohei rank, in you all's opinion, of most gifted athletes, able to do a multitude of things?
One of easily top 10, probably top 5. You mentioned the guys. It's
Deion number one.
It's Bo Jackson. It's Deion.
I think Bo might be Is Bo better than Deion?
Bo is a better baseball player than Deion.
And probably, if he doesn't get hurt in football,
yeah,
you're probably looking at one of the top running backs to ever play the game.
Right. I would probably say Bo, then Deion.
I had a whole lot of guys.
Barry Sanders, truly gifted.
Yeah.
We've not seen another Barry Sanders.
But a guy that can do, I would put Deion in more gifted than Barry.
That's fine, but Barry was
Barry and Marshall are like 1A and 1B because Marshall made people miss. I don't know how. So did Barry.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like God-given talent, like you can hit a baseball that's thrown 99 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, and also cover Jerry Rice, who one by itself is more than enough.
Yeah.
Like I think that's
to me most gifted ever is Bo.
Okay.
It's Bo Jackson. He power, arm. Did you see the one throw that he made in left field? I forget what game it was. Where
he threw out Harold Reynolds.
Yeah,
right?
it was a P-Rod to back to first base. Power, speed, explosiveness. Bo had it all. It's just he had the shorter career because of the injuries.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani is unbelievable. If Shohei tried to play football, I think he's dead in an hour. You know?
Well, Shohei's about 6'5".
He's dead in an hour.
Line him up at DN and let him rush the quarterback. It's not a lot of harm there. Not too much.
It's incredibly harmful. What do you think, Jamie?
I've got Bo Jackson as the number one, and I just look at it. Deion's right there with him, but if Bo would have stayed healthy, he would have been able to dominate two sports. Like he was a must-see talent. When you went to the baseball field, you watched him because he could crush a baseball 500 feet, or he could throw it 500 feet. And then in football, he could make you miss or go right through you. Just ask Brian Bosworth all about that. But to me, he was just more dominant in each of the sports that he played. Whereas Deion was dominant as a corner, Hall of Famer for that matter, but he wasn't a dominant baseball player. He was a very good baseball player, so I think Bo is number one for me. As far as Shohei Ohtani is concerned, that's extremely unique. Like, it's so unique that I think he has to be right there in the top three with those guys. I know Barry Sanders is talented and Marshall Faulk was talented, but they were talented at one job only. They're really good at it, don't get me wrong. But when you got players that are doing two different things, whether it's two different sports or, heck, it might as well be two different sports
positions.
for Ohtani, because throwing the ball and hitting it, like, that's two completely different things.
Sure.
So that would be my 1, 2, 3 right there.
I agree. I think Bo is number one. I think Deion number two. But what Shohei is doing, like, to be that elite in both pitching and hitting, that is something special, man.
Top five.
Yeah.
All right. That's what's trending here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. How should the Blues construct their lineup in the last two games? We have thoughts on that next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and if you haven't heard about Scrap Mart Metals, let me tell you about them. If you're a contractor or own a business that needs recycling, they are here to help you. They're tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. You don't have to be a contractor, though. If you have things you need to get rid of, you got spring cleaning coming up, maybe you got some things that don't get sold, you got some metal, some things that can be recycled, Scrap Mart Metals can help you. For those contractors, they understand that job site cleanup is often a mess. If you set up a business account with Scrap Mart to recycle that metal, it'll be one less thing you have to do during cleanup. You'd be amazed at how the scrap metals add up and how it can help your business's cash flow. And then if you're a plumber, heating and cooling, an excavator, any of those things, Scrap Mart Metals will help you as well. If you own that heavy equipment, it breaks down often. It gets frustrating. You have to repair it over and over again. The time will come to end your suffering. Scrap Mart will actually come and get it out of your way. They'll haul your equipment to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. And then they also offer a convenient drive on scale if you want to take it there yourself. They have the highest payout, and you will always get top dollar for your scrap metals. Just reach out to them today at scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account for you contractors. Go to scrapmartmetals.com and get some help. scrapmartmetals.com.
303, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Jamie Rivers and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Blues Kraken tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. We'll have the puck drop for you right here on the Blues Radio Network. The pregame will be at 8 o'clock on 101 ESPN. The line combinations. How should the Blues construct their lineup in the last two games? I think we all have thoughts on it, but we'll start with Jamie. Jamie, the line combinations or the lineup that you would like to see top to bottom when it comes to tomorrow night's game?
Yeah, I don't know what they'll be. They're on the ice right now here in Seattle for practice, so we'll probably get an update in a little bit. And also, we'll have Coach Jim Montgomery on at 5 p.m. He'll be able to talk about where they're at, and if there are some different line combinations, we can ask him at that point. I obviously think you got to stick with Carey, Thomas, and Buchnevich. They were pretty much your whole offense the other night, and they seem to be clicking right now. I think you keep, I like Jimmy Snuggerud, but I think it's time to elevate other guys. Like, I think I'd like to see Schenn with Neighbors and Bolduc. And then your third line would be Sundqvist, Snuggerud, and if they're not going to play Dvorsky, to which it looks like they're apprehensive to play him, I go right back to Matthew Joseph on the left wing there. He's got speed. He's been playing physical. He kills penalties for you. And like I said, if Dvorsky's not going to play a regular shift, then now is not the time to have a body just sitting on the bench. And then the last thing I would look at is I'm not touching the WTF line at all. They're your heart and soul. They're the energy that you need. They provide the physicality. They do all the things that nobody else likes to do. So I'm not touching that line. But I think that would be my lineup right there. Neighbors is going pretty good. Schenner's going pretty good. Bolduc, obviously, the kid's got some talent. I think it's time to play him a little more.
Carey, do you have thoughts on whether or not they should play Snuggerud and Dvorsky?
I thought that that's what I was talking about earlier. And Marshy, you kind of brought this up when they brought up Snuggerud and Dvorsky, breaking up the mojo, no pun intended, but the mojo that was going on with the Blues at that point in their winning streak, would bringing in new pieces kind of throw off the timing, the rhythm, and the vibe of what they had going on. And then, Jamie, I also thought it was interesting that once Snuggerud was brought into the lineup, that he was elevated very quickly ahead of Bolduc. I thought Bolduc would be the one that was elevated. We saw times where Snuggerud was with that first line, and then Holloway obviously went out, and they kind of shifted some things around. But I would like to see Bolduc up there with Schenn and Neighbors and see how that looks. But I also think Matthew Joseph, I know he had that really bad turnover. Him and Cam Fowler, what was that, the Winnipeg game? I keep wanting to call him Winnipeg.
Well, they have been winning.
I called him Milwaukee the other day, so you're doing
Milwaukee
great.
Mets, the Winnipeg game. But I would like to see, just that rhythm and that vibe and that timing get back with that group. So I do think Snuggerud had a couple of really good shots, really good opportunities against the Oilers. But I wouldn't be surprised if Matthew Joseph is the one in the lineup tomorrow night.
Marsh, I know you got thoughts on whether or not Neighbors and Schenn make sense on the same line.
Well, so right now it's kind of tough to break up, especially after what we saw against Edmonton, to break up Robert Thomas, Jordan Kyrou, and Pavel Buchnevich. Like that's tough, right? Like they were pretty good the other night. My thought was, what if you moved Neighbors back up to that first line to what it was beforehand, and then you move Bolduc up to the second line to sort of recreate what you had with Dylan Holloway and Jordan Kyrou, and then move Snuggerud down to the third line and see if you can get what Zach Bolduc was producing on that third line out of Jimmy Snuggerud. I don't know if they'll do that. I don't think they'll do that, but that was something that came to my mind. What do you think, Jamie?
Yeah, so I had tossed around this idea as well a couple of days ago before the Edmonton game. But based upon the information that we were given during that Edmonton game, which is the Kyrou, Thomas, and Buchnevich still have chemistry, I just don't think you touch that. But I 100% agree that, and I thought this was going to happen the moment Holloway got hurt. I thought Bolduc would be slotted up there to play with Schenn and Kyrou to basically simulate what you had with Holloway there as well. It didn't happen. They got experimental in other ways with Snuggerud and things like that. But I wouldn't be opposed to having that kind of a lineup. I think it's a great idea. We'll see what they do tomorrow night here in Seattle. I don't think much changes in the top 6 going into tomorrow night's game, but who knows?
I mean, it's tough to really organize things the way you ultimately want them without Dylan Holloway. I mean, it's an obvious statement, but it's obvious for a reason. If you had Dylan Holloway, I think it creates a lot more matchup problems for the opposition, and you can kind of set this thing up. Jim Montgomery could set it up exactly how he wants it. Albeit without now Dylan Holloway, it's tough, and now you're trying to find chemistry on those top 2 lines without one of your top pieces all season.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the unfortunate injury to Dylan Holloway, especially when you were rolling and you felt like – I feel like the line combinations was one of the things that earlier in the season, even when Drew Bannister was here, they were all over the place. You had – it feels like a whole 2 years ago, Pavel Buchnevich playing center. It feels like 2 or 3 years ago, but that was actually earlier this year. And you finally figured out and corrected some things. And then the injury to Holloway happens, and now you're – I don't think you're scrambling. Again, you play 2 really good teams that you just lost to, and you were in both of those games. You had an opportunity to send one into overtime, and then you had an opportunity in the other one before the empty netter to possibly put a puck in the net and tie that game up. So I don't know if it's time. I don't feel like it's panic time because of the injury, but I do think, figuring out what the lines are going to look like and who's going to play with who and how well they're going to mesh is important going into these last couple of games.
Certainly.
Jamie, do you think that Braden Shen works at his best with 2 speedy wingers on his line? That's kind of why I brought up the Bolduc and Kairou's situation with that potential line being a thing compared to Jake Neighbors. Do you think there's more team speed on that second line without Jake Neighbors on that second line?
Well, I mean, if you're asking me if Jake Neighbors is a faster skater than Dylan Holloway, the answer is no.
What about Bolduc?
Bolduc's also faster than Jake Neighbors. But let's not forget that Jake Neighbors, for the better part of the season, has had great chemistry playing with a couple of really high-end guys in Thomas and Buchnevich.
Right.
So it's not like he can't hang. It's not like he's a slow skater. It's not like Braden Shen's a slow skater. You have certain guys, though, that are just elite at skating, and those guys, for the most part, are Kyrou, Bolduc, Holloway. I mean, those are the guys you highlight when you look at the Blues' top forwards. But, yeah, I mean, right now, you're just trying to find chemistry to win a couple of games, and then you got a couple of days after that to try and figure some things out before playoffs. Jimmy Snuggerud was a nice addition. I think he's going to be fine. I still think he's finding his way a little bit. Like, the first couple of games are one thing, but now he's played against a couple of really good teams. He's still making really good puck plays. He thinks the game at a high level. This is going to be a tough one. The lineup right now, this is why coaches get paid all that money, because you have to put together the right lineup to get you across the finish line. And the finish line right now is to make the playoffs, because as much as we love where our Blues are at right now, they haven't secured a playoff spot. Mm-hmm. And if they don't win either of these last 2 games, then they need help from other teams around the league. And I'd rather not be doing that. I'd rather just win out here and go from there, get yourself in the playoffs, and then worry about whatever lineup you're going to put out there in game 1 of whatever series that is.
That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. What is the role of the big league manager, and how do you grade the big league manager? We kind of got into not a heated debate, but a spirited debate yesterday about Ollie Marmol, and some people are saying how bad he is. Okay, well, get a better roster too. So how do you grade a big league manager? What is the actual role? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN. Fastlane on 101 ESPN. So yesterday, we got kind of into a spirited debate with ourselves and also the fine folks in the Snake Pit, our YouTube channel, about Ollie Marmol. And Marsh, I feel like where your frustration comes in with some of the things with the Blues, and you're not just saying, hey, I'm ignoring the 12-game winning streak just to highlight a couple of things in 2 losses. You're saying big picture-wise, I see some concerning trends. Big picture. Yeah, that
may have led to those 2 losses.
There you go. So big picture, I don't love what I'm seeing. My point yesterday was not to determine whether or not, or say definitively whether or not Ollie Marmol is doing a great job. Because it's difficult to say whether or not a manager is doing a great job when we're also bitching about the roster. We can't talk out of both sides of our mouth. We can't say the pitching is awful, who would win with this pitching staff, and then turn around and say, Ollie stinks. Both things might be true. Both things might be true on their own. But it's a little difficult to just define whether or not a manager is doing well based on whether or not you like every decision he makes in the 7th inning. Because that's kind of where we go as fans. I didn't like that move, therefore I don't like Ollie. He's faced with decisions. He's faced with a ton of decisions, pre-game, during the game, after the game. Some we're privy to, some we're not. But I feel like as baseball fans, if we don't like the lineup, we don't like the manager. If we don't like what he did in the 6th inning with the starter, we don't like the manager. If we don't like what he did bringing in a guy in the 8th and it didn't work out, we don't like the manager. He brings a guy in the 8th that does work out, we gloss over it.
I was thinking about this because we had the conversation, the spirited back and forth with Snake Pit members. I think when you decide to replace a manager or a coach or whatever it is, I think it only works if the team is talented.
Right.
Like, and the team is lackluster because the messaging has gotten old, or guys are not playing as hard, but they're extremely talented. We never, and I don't think anyone ever questioned Jordan Kyrou's talent. I don't think anyone ever questioned Robert Thomas's talent. I don't think that was ever a question about, man, can these guys play? Are they even good? It was, we're not getting the most out of those guys. So in that instance, at times, yeah, that's when you change a coach. But if you were like, yeah, these guys stink, I don't give a damn who's coaching them, man. It doesn't matter if the talent is not there. The coach's job is to elevate the talent that is already there by giving them information, by putting them in good places. But if you don't have the talent, it doesn't matter who. You could put a squirrel out there to coach them. They can't coach them because they're not good enough. It doesn't matter. You could put Tony La Russa. You can put whomever you want. If the talent isn't there, that team isn't going to be good. And I think when you're talking about roster management decisions, late game, in-game manager decisions, you're like, well, why did he do this? You can critique every single decision that is made from every single manager every single night. Did the player get it done or not? That's what it boils down to. As a player, I have a job to do.
Yeah.
My job is defined every single day in practice, in meetings. I know what my job is. And if I don't do my defined role every single day, I'm probably going to be looking for a new job. It's no different than anyone that has a job in quote unquote, the real world. Your manager gives you a role. If you don't do that role successfully, you're probably going to be looking for a new job. Is that on your manager? You didn't give me clear instructions. No, actually, I told you that this needed to be done by this day. Yeah. This report needed to be turned in. I needed this information. I needed you to send these emails. You didn't do any of it. Why are you still working here? That's the same thing. So for me, now, if you are doing a great job and your manager gives you no information, then you're like, oh, the manager stinks. It's no different than anywhere else in real life. So when you're looking at the hitting, they've been doing a great job. When you're looking at the pitching, maybe not. Maybe there's some room for improvement.
Yeah.
But I don't think Ollie Marmol is going to go out there and give you 9 innings.
Right.
think those days for him are way past.
And Jamie's back, but and we're talking about really what are you using to measure how good a manager is doing? Because I think some people would say, well, wins and losses, okay, but you can't say that Dave Roberts and Ollie Marmol should be judged by wins and losses. So what are you doing? Well, it's the young guys, okay. Jordan Walker is starting to hit. Victor Scott's having a good start to the year after a good spring training. Do those guys, we don't count those guys? So I'm really just kind of opening up the discussion of you don't like Ollie Marmol based on some of the decisions that he makes, but we're only highlighting the decisions that did not work out. Like, if we can be objective here, what is it that you're grading Ollie Marmol on? And Jamie, if you've got thoughts on that exact question, love to hear them.
Yeah, I don't know if I have an answer for that exact question, but here's the way I look at it for coaches, managers, just anybody in pro sports. What stage is your team in, first of all? Like, are you in win now to where you've got a bunch of veteran players, good players, and you need a manager or a coach to take them to the promised land? Or are you kind of halfway through, you're trying to bring in some young talent, you're trying to develop, you're trying to get your team to that win now mode? Or are you in the rebuild, retool, beginning with a bunch of young guys that you have no idea about? I think the moment you identify what stage your team is in is the moment you can start grading your manager or your coach. Because if you're asking me to tell Ollie Marmol that the objective's the World Series, well, he's going to ask you, what you're smoking at that point. Because, look at the roster you've given him. There's nobody. Tony La Russa, you name the best manager ever in baseball. They're not winning a World Series with that roster. They're just not. So you can't grade him upon the wins and losses. I think for Ollie Marmol, much like you had for Jim Montgomery this year, what did the coach do to improve the young players that were on your roster? How quickly is he moving the needle to being a contending team? Yeah. That's where I think you have to look at Ollie right now. And to your point, CD, Ollie hasn't thrown a pitch, to my knowledge, anyways.
I haven't seen it.
At the major league level.
I would love to see it.
Like ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like ever. So if you're telling him he's got to have, you need to do better with the pitchers. Okay, but you gave me these pitchers. They're pitchers I don't necessarily want, but you gave them to me, and now you're forcing me to roll them out there every 5 days.
Right.
Or you're forcing me to use them in the bullpen. What do you do with that? It'd be like giving a head coach in hockey a terrible goaltender and asking him to go win games. Well, you can't. At some point, that goalie's going to blow up, and you're going to lose a game. Right. Just like the pitching staff right now. So I think Ollie Marmol's, what's fair for me is this season for Ollie Marmol. Let's evaluate if the team does better than what we thought. If so, then you got to give him some credit and his staff. Jordan Walker, Mason Wynn, Victor Scott, whatever young guys in your lineup.
Right.
Let's see where they end up at the end of the season. And to me, then, you can properly evaluate the job that Ollie Marmol's done.
Well said. I also like what Jason said. Very measured take here from Jason in the Snake Pit. He said, I'll die on this hill. This fan base used to, and it just disappeared on me, son of a fast lane. Let me pull it up.
I got you, Anthony.
Thank you, Marshy.
This is from Jason in the Snake Pit. I will die on this hill. This fan base used to second-guess every decision that didn't work when Tony La Russa was here until he won a World Series. Then he was the genius everyone else knew he was.
I'm going to tell you why I like Jason's statement. It's a big picture view of what happens every single night. We only base our like or dislike for a manager when things work or don't work. And it's all hindsight, or most of it's hindsight. Now, if you're sitting there each Cardinal game and you're saying, nope, wouldn't go with Roycroft here, I'd go with somebody else. And you're right more times than not, then my God, send your resume into the St. Louis Cardinals, because you should be the manager. But chances are, if you're being objective, which is what I'm trying to ultimately be here, if you're being objective, how many decisions that you're making from your couch are you getting right, and how many are you getting wrong? But chances are you can't be objective on it.
Oh, man.
And then remember, you're not in the heat of the moment. Now, maybe Ollie is a great manager. Maybe he's an average one. Maybe he's a horse bleep manager. I don't know. The main point is it's difficult to just say definitively that this guy can't manage when one of his pitchers is Miles Michaelis, who's serving a batting practice every 5 days. That's my point.
Yeah, Anthony, you and, was it Jason? Hit the
Jason.
nail on the head. Good job, fellas.
Thank you, Carey.
Yep. Good job, Jason.
Good job, Jason.
Yep.
Good job, Splashback Deuce.
And good job, Marshall.
Good job, everybody.
Good job, everybody.
We're getting all, yeah. Clap it up. Everybody gets a round of applause. Proud of you guys.
Splashback Deuce, we'll end on this. Ollie is, in fact, as smart as the fast lane baseball guy. Baseball, or players dictate how stupid you look, and some fans have the emotion level of a second grader.
I like that.
I like that, too. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Here's a question for you. Better NFL draft philosophy, home run or single? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Well, spring is here, and a lot of times we look to do some renovating. Once the nice weather is here, it's inspiration to renovate. Well, if you're thinking about renovating your kitchen, your bathroom, or outdoor living space, please call my friends at E&B Granite. They are the best in the business. The showroom's fantastic, too, by the way. You go down there to 6135 Manchester Avenue. You walk in, the in-house design staff is going to ask you what you're looking to do. And if it's a kitchen, a bathroom, outdoor space, doesn't matter. They're going to walk you through the process. And for someone like me, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my kitchen. So the in-house design staff helped me with my kitchen, and then the technicians were fantastic. They got out to the house, measured everything, then they ripped out all the old stuff, and once the installation of the new kitchen cabinets and countertops and backsplash was done, it was awesome. I couldn't be happier, and that's why I want you to call E&B Granite. They are the best in the business. Call them. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. Their number's 314-645-9300. Again, that's 314-645-9300. You always visit them at enbgranite.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cards in action tonight, taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Andre Palante is on the mound tonight for the Redbirds, going up against Aaron Nola. First pitch is at 7:15. The Blues take on the Seattle Kraken tomorrow night. Pregame for that one starts at 8. Puck drop will be at 9. And the Battlehawks looking to start the season off 3-0. They'll go up against the DC Defenders on Sunday with a kickoff at 2 o'clock. Speaking of football, what is the better NFL draft philosophy? Is it home runs or singles? We'll discuss next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Fast on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. Kind of fell into this one. I love this question because it actually sets up the topic beautifully. Scorpion 74 from the Snake Pit says, Anthony CD, speaking of the draft, are the Raiders raidering up the draft, taking a running back at 6?
No, you hush your mouth.
And I'm assuming
what the hell are you talking about?
Scorpion 74
draft a running back
is referring to Alshon. Not Alshon.
Alshon Jeffrey?
No, Ashton Genty.
Alshon Jeffrey was a good receiver.
I know he was.
Man, he's not in the draft, though. Ashton Genty.
Ashton Genty of Boise State. You know what I meant?
I did.
Yeah, but he's a running back.
You know who I am, Dan. Say C. Anyways. You know who I am. Yes. All right, anyways. No, it sets up, the question's perfect because I was thinking about draft philosophies. I don't even know if there's a right answer to this, right? But I was thinking about teams with when they're entering the NFL draft, whether or not it makes more sense to, sorry for the mixed metaphors, but to hit a home run, go for more risk, maybe some really talented players. They don't necessarily have the ultimate production in college, but maybe they're freak athletes that you can mold. High end, high floor, high ceiling, low floor players. Or is it smarter to hit more singles? Safe guys, safe picks, a lot of college production. They might not wind up being the best players in the draft, but they're just solid players. Not average, but solid. The Ravens come to mind. Your Steelers come to mind. Steelers, they're just always hitting singles. And they've had a lot of success. I haven't had Super Bowl success, but they've had a lot of success.
Yeah, I mean, we got 6 Super Bowls.
Okay, not recently.
Oh.
Is what my point was.
Okay.
But if you don't go for the risk every once in a while, such as the Chiefs moving up for Patrick Mahomes, the Bills deciding to take Josh Allen when a lot of people are like, don't touch this guy. If you don't take the risk, you could fall on your face. If you guys were to choose one draft philosophy over another, would you take the home run? Would you go for the fences, or you hit more singles?
I'm hitting home run. I'm going with the guy, but it has to be. I have rules for taking a home run guy. It doesn't have to just be, the guy that is a home run because he makes plays on the field and he's exceptional in that facet. He also has to love the game, right? Because if there are guys that are so talented, they could not care less about actually playing football. I was watching the Warriors game the other day, and they were talking about Chris Paul, how all he does is watch the NBA TV app. He watches all the games. He has his iPad with him. He's like a basketball junk. I want that guy. Mm-hmm. I want the person that eats, sleeps, breathes football, and this is the guy. And he's extremely talented. Because when things get rough, and Jamie, you know this, is even when you're extremely talented, when things get rough, if you don't love the game, you can find a way or find a reason to maybe not give your everything you got. Maybe not show up to a meeting, or maybe not show up to a workout, or maybe not be as dialed in to the game plan.
Maybe not make it home for curfew.
Maybe not, You got other things going on. that curfew the night before. Coach. Yeah. But I want a home run guy, but I want a guy that loves the game of football.
But Jamie, before you answer that question, sometimes it's difficult to find, though. Like, you think you got a guy that can, that loves football, that loves hockey, and then all of a sudden their interests start to fade.
And I'm not saying you couldn't or shouldn't have other interests outside of football, but football is the thing you pour into the most. And I think those guys are guys that watch the game. Those are the guys that know. Okay, tell me about the position you play. Tell me about some of the best defensive ends that you know that have played the game. And they're like, you, sir, have not really engulfed yourself into the game of football. Like those that know, they're going to be steadfast. Even if it's current players, it doesn't have to be, Reggie White or guys from the past, John, we don't have to go that far. But you do need to know people that are currently elite at your position and what they do well. And to me, those are the people that really love the game of football. They watch it. They study it. They are in-tuned into what's happening.
Yeah, so a couple things here. A lot to unpack with this question. It's actually a really good question.
Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, it was from the snake pit, though, wasn't it?
Okay, I used Scorpion 74 to set up the question, but it was my original question.
Anthony, we're supposed to give credit where credit's due. Okay?
I see.
Anyways, all right. So I'm going to power through this. So when we talk about the draft, a couple things here. CD, you're 100% right. And when I first got out of playing my first gigs around the league, where I was consulting with some teams, and I remember consulting with them around the draft day, and I used to say the same thing. I said, ask the players who their favorite player is currently. If it's a centerman, who's your favorite centerman currently in the NHL? Who's your favorite centerman all time in the NHL? And they'll find out quickly who the students of the game are. And then you ask them why, too. Why is he your favorite? And if they can't give you a real answer, they're just spitting out a name. So for me, like if it was just a defenseman, I said, oh, Bobby Orr. Okay, what did you like about Bobby Orr? Well, he was good. He was good. No?
He's good at hockey.
Yeah, and you find the guys who are passionate about talking about their sport, their favorite players growing up, their biggest influences, all this stuff. And what you do then is, and you're right, Anthony, sometimes it fades, money changes people sometimes, but for the most part, percentage-wise, give me the hockey nut, the hockey nerd, give me the football nerd, and I can work with that. I feel like I can keep them in the good area way longer than anything else. And so for me on draft day, and I want you to clarify this part of your question, Anthony. Sure. When you say, is it better to hit a home run than a single? Well, I think it would be an idiot to say I'd hit a single. So I think, are you talking about like drafting just several good players in the draft?
So if you want like a real life example, the Saints, when they drafted Marshawn Lattimore, he was a very productive player at college. They took him in the first round. Ryan Ramczyk was, I think, their second round pick that year. Again, kind of a safe pick. Couple of singles. You really know what you're going to get out of these guys.
Both of those guys were starters.
Right.
They became starters for that team.
What I'm saying is there wasn't a big roll of the dice on those players or those positions. You kind of knew what you were going to get.
Not to say they wouldn't on a home run player.
They wouldn't bust. What?
Is there a roll of the dice on a home run player? I don't know if I understand that.
Well, damn it, Jamie, let's get into it. Alvin Kamara.
You're going to have to hurry up, Anthony.
Alvin Kamara in the third.
Come on.
How don't I just start talking and you guys just start interrupting me and then tell me I got to speed up? Anyways.
I'm on delay, sorry.
Same draft, Alvin Kamara. They moved up for him. He split carries. He split carries in college, right? Like that was kind of a bigger swing in the same draft. They wind up hitting a home run with that. I guess what I'm saying is, If there is a risk, like a big time risk in the first round, top 10 usually, top 15, is it better to go for the guy that may completely get you fired, but also win you a Super Bowl, or you know what, offensive lineman's right there. That's hard. It's hard to miss on the O-line. We'll just take the offensive lineman.
Okay, so let me. Here's what this is my philosophy.
Sure.
If there is that much of a gap between this guy's going to win me a Super Bowl or he might get me fired, he's not the right player. He's not the right player.
Okay.
Because why would he be that much of a risk then? If if the upside is so high and the downside so low, like, what are you doing? That's like playing the lottery and there's 10 billion people that are playing along with you. Like, no, don't do that. To me, you find a player that can still get you to a Super Bowl, but you know damn well he's not getting you fired. That's a home run player for me. He doesn't have to be a Hall of Famer. He just has to be good enough to not get me fired.
Yeah. And
then I can work with that. I can elevate that player. I can make them a better player. So that to me is the home run. Is the player that doesn't have such a wide gap.
Yeah, like what you're describing is Andrew Luck. Like Andrew Luck, you're almost in my eyes, you're describing like kind of the can't miss. Jamarcus Russell was a player that, as we know now, he didn't care about football, which is why I asked you, Carey, about sometimes it's difficult to know. But the guy was like prototypical, big dude, won at LSU.
Yeah, but Anthony, hang on, Anthony. Wouldn't you do your homework? Like,
who just say they
tell
didn't?
me that? Well, that's the problem then. Because if I'm a GM or a coach and I'm talking about drafting a certain player that can be a game changer, you better believe I'm talking to his last 3 coaches that had him. I'm talking to teammates, former teammates, people that play against him. You're not just you would find out quickly that the guy doesn't like hockey, the guy doesn't like football, his interests are otherwise. He's in it for the glitz and the glamour and the fame. He's not in there to actually win football. You'd find out quickly who that individual is because the sporting world tells you.
Well, Jamie, you're strong-arming me right now, so I got to use the exception. I've got to use it. I'm throwing it down.
Strong-arming you?
Michael Vick.
What was wrong with Michael Vick?
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick was...
had some activities that wound up costing him, some jail time. Okay.
Yeah, but was that in college?
Nope.
Yeah, that happened.
So that's what I'm saying. Before he was
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
sometimes you don't know.
What?
Sometimes you don't know about a player.
Well, you got to surround yourself with better people, and you got to get yourself a fall guy.
You definitely.
Go ahead, Mark.
Anthony, I might have a player. I don't know if this is exactly what you're getting at, but Brandon Beane of the Bills, the general manager, he had a quote talking about Josh Allen.
Billy's brother.
And he said, we got criticized for how much we gave up for Josh. And I'm like, well, if he doesn't work out, I'm not going to be here anyway. And if he does work out, nobody's going to give a blank. And look what Josh Allen became.
That's a perfect example.
We think of Josh Allen like, oh my gosh, MVP.
That was a home run.
That was not a home run pick.
He went 7th overall, and everybody was panning the Bills. Like, why did you do that?
They did their homework.
But that's the point.
But there was, what I'm saying is it's easy to look back now and say he was a home run pick. He wasn't at 7th overall coming out of Wyoming playing no competition, and the numbers weren't there. That's all I'm saying. That I think is more of a roll of the dice. That is somebody that could win you a Super Bowl or get you fired.
Yeah, whatever.
Anthony, now you know how I feel for the last 2 days.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on. How much weight, this should be good. How much weight should we put into production versus potential?
Oh, boy.
We'll have another conflicting conversation next on 101 ESPN. for a new Gauntlet contestant, but please, if you haven't played before, text into the Air Comfort Service text line.
Your time.
314-399-9646. As Carey just said, it's your time. Text in Gauntlet. How much weight should we put into production versus potential? Carey, I know you were thinking about this question in relation to a quarterback that will be in this year's draft, but not one of the top dogs.
No. Will
Although
Howard.
he thinks he does. He
said he's the best quarterback. Will Howard from the Ohio State, not the other quarterback. I got confused.
Not Kyle McCord.
Not Kyle McCord.
Yep.
Will Howard, who just won a national championship with the Ohio State Buckeyes this past season, said that he's the best quarterback in the draft. However, he's not listed as one of the potential first quarterbacks taken in this year's draft. You got Shedeur Sanders. You have Cam Ward. Jackson Dart has been moving up in the board. Jalen Milroe got invited to the actual draft, so he's I guess being looked at as a potential first round draft pick as well. And so I was wondering, when you're looking at and this goes for any sport, like, do you take the production guys that have done it, won championships, won a lot of games, or do you go with the guys that have the potential to be stars? And obviously there are a bunch of outside factors. Ohio State had one of the best rosters in college football, which makes your life a lot easier as a quarterback. Shedeur Sanders didn't have he had some guys as well. That offensively, they definitely had some guys. So do you just go with the guys that are more production-based, or do you go with the guys that have the higher ceiling? I know you like high-ceiling guys.
I do like high-ceiling guys. But if we're talking about quarterbacks specifically,
I think it could be any position, but we'll stick with quarterbacks for the sake of this argument.
So the thing that you brought up about, Ohio State's got some dudes, it reminds me of Mac Jones at Alabama. Mm-hmm. And I know it wasn't just the Patriots that liked Mac Jones.
Insert any quarterback from Alabama over the last 15 years.
Right. I mean, it is very difficult to evaluate the quarterbacks that Nick Saban had, because you're dealing with an offense that a lot of the times, unless it's one of the select few, like when Clemson was really good or Georgia, you're trying to evaluate, college versus high school sometimes based on like the level of play, right? There's a huge Carey. You went from high school to college, there's a big jump. College to pro is an even bigger jump. It's very difficult to evaluate that Alabama quarterback, knowing that he's got all the time, he's throwing into big windows and all that. So I almost would lean toward the guy that's got maybe less production, but he didn't have the same talent around him.
So like a Josh Allen?
Like a Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He didn't have a ton of production. The opponents scared you a little bit, like the lack of high competition. But if you look around the league, a lot of these guys did not win a national title.
I would counter your Josh Allen with Trey Lance.
But he didn't really have the production, though. I mean, he hadn't played football in a year and a half.
He had the potential.
But I'm talking more about like Matt Ryan at Boston College had good production, but he didn't win anything significant because he didn't have the players around him. But he wound up being a really good quarterback. Drew Brees, smart guy, Purdue, but they had good seasons. But he also had some trials and tribulations. I'd almost take the QB like Shedeur Sanders, who I know will have. He went through some trials because he played behind an offensive line. It was terrible. He had to put up big time points because the defense stunk at Colorado. Give me the guy that's had a kind of he got beat up a little bit and still put up some good numbers over maybe somebody that it was just perfect every single time he hit his back foot.
Yeah, so that's where I go with this. Is I want an athlete that has had some adversity, and a lot of these young superstars, they really don't ever have that adversity. And let's just keep it in-house here for a second. Let's talk about the Blues just for a quick second. It's not about hockey. This is about an athlete. Jordan Kyrou. Everybody dogged on Jordan Kyrou for the last couple of years because he's not a 200-foot player and he's no good defensively and all these things. But he'd never faced that kind of a challenge before because he was always the best player growing up at every level until he got to the National Hockey League. And then you have a young man that has to learn on the job at that point. And so for me, if I'm if I've got a football player, quarterback, whatever position, that's never experienced some tough times, I don't know if I'm going there. Because if they're not battle tested, what happens the first time adversity hits in the NFL with the media covering it, social media, and all this stuff? Like, that guy might crumble.
Yeah.
And you might never see him ever play. Like, we talk about Trey Lance. Like, he hadn't played a lot in his college career. That was a wild card pick. But, he didn't have the success, obviously. Still hasn't had that success. So I want a guy that has had some adversity, because I know that they're willing to push through it, and then he can still produce and play sports at a high level.
I'm with you. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. I think Shedeur is a different animal, though. Like I said, he had the talent around him, and they had a lot of talent.
But that O-line got him killed every week.
The O-line was better this year than it was last year, 2 years ago.
Still not great, Carey.
No,
Carey.
no.
Did you just do the whole 23-24 Cardinals thing on us?
They were much better. 83 wins. Hell, you talking about? You don't watch the games, Anthony.
I didn't watch in 23.
Good for him.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Where are you on this?
I think
like Will Howard specifically. I
don't think Will Howard is. I wouldn't take Will Howard over.
I wouldn't take Will
Cam
Howard with your team
or Shedeur Sanders. Hey, my team might actually end up taking him. Who the hell knows, man? Like, you need a quarterback right now. You got Mason Rudolph as your number one, I believe.
Lego hairs back there?
It's Mason Rudolph and somebody. Who's your backup?
Wait, Mason Rudolph's not the backup?
No, I think he's the number one right now.
He's the number one right now.
And
you signed somebody
Justin
else.
is going.
That is not great.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I gotta see this. I gotta see these warlocks.
Don't worry about it.
No, I want to see.
Oh no, don't worry about it at all. Mike Tomlin will be just fine.
Let's see here.
I forgot who it is.
Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson.
Who?
Skylar Thompson, the backup for the Dolphins.
Don't you worry about that.
Wow.
He still plays?
Kansas State.
Is he from Kansas State?
I think Skylar Thompson's from Kansas State. Yep. As was Will Howard there for a little while.
Yeah. What the heck just happened?
You guys are going to be fine. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Hey, do you know what you could do?
What?
If you strike out in the drafts, I mean, Kirk Cousins could be available.
We'll pass.
Okay.
Thanks, though.
Just something to think about.
Appreciate the offer.
Probably better than what you have.
Not for $45, $50 million. We'll pass.
No, well, we'd be paying the freight.
Oh.
Yeah,
no, I'm okay.
Just give us a...
No, you're not. You take him, Carey.
I mean, at this point,
you would take him
You're
over
rolling
Mason
out
Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph or freaking Kirk Cousins.
You would take him over Mason
Kirk Cousins
Rudolph.
looking like Joe Montana all of a sudden.
Yeah, you would. No, you say it with your chest. Go ahead.
I probably would.
Okay.
Skylar Thompson. Yeah, that's not great.
How do you say things with your chest?
Poke your chest out, say it with conviction, and
but
you're proud of what you're saying.
Different?
Yeah.
Is he
a little bit. You stand up. You sit up a little straight.
It's supposed to come out different.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
That's good.
Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN.
It's different, all right. Well, the real estate market is heating up, especially in the springtime. Everybody's looking for homes. So now might be the perfect time for you to put your home on the market. But just like me, you may not know exactly when to list it, how much to list it for, and you may miss out on a few things that you're just not aware of. And you can't just trust any real estate agent. You have to trust somebody who's been in the business for a long time and knows what they're doing. That's why I trust Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, because she's been in the business for over 20 years. And she's closing deals all the time and making the most money possible for all of her clients. Gloria knows the market. She's going to get you the best price, and she's there for you. Anything you have as far as questions or problems or anything at all, Gloria Lou's going to walk you through all of it. And the best part is, Gloria may already have the buyer for your home because she's got thousands of buyers in her database, and she drives that to your listing, and hopefully you get multiple offers and maybe even more money than you thought for your home. But you're not going to find out unless you give her a call. So please call her. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number's 314-325-6888. Again, that number's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 404. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. With Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Troy. What's up, Troy?
What's going on, Stalter? How we doing?
Everything's good, man. Appreciate you joining us on this cloudy Friday, but excited to have you.
Here we go. Let's get down to it.
Excellent. All right. Would you like to take on Andrew Marsh, Jamie, Carey, or me?
Let's go CD.
Carey Davis. Not bad, Jamie.
Almost got it.
Almost got it.
Almost got it.
Jamie's on the road, and he tries to time it up with the delay and everything. There's a slight delay. He almost got it. All right.
I'm working on it, boys.
Good luck.
Nice job. All right, Carey, get the hell out of here.
Seriously.
Carey's going to the cone of silence. Troy, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Marsh, spin the wheel.
What are you hoping for, Troy?
Baseball.
Hoping for baseball.
Ooh. He was trying to wait the wheel out there.
And he did a great job of doing it because it is baseball today.
Ooh, did you really want baseball?
Here we go.
Troy, or were you hoping to fool the wheel?
No, as long as it wasn't football, I liked my chances.
All right, okay. Here we go.
Wow. Confidence.
No kidding. 4 questions, all baseball related. Each question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options, Troy. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
Let's get it.
All right. There's a novel here, so hang with me. Here we go. Question
Bradford.
1. Bradford. U.S. Baseball announced on Thursday that Mark DeRosa will manage the United States for the 2nd straight World Baseball Classic. During DeRosa's loan, or portion of a season, in St. Louis in 2009, who struck out a team-high 106 times? So which player in 2009 for the Cardinals struck out 106 times?
I'll take the option.
Colby Rasmus, Rick Ankiel, Ryan Ludwig.
There's a reason we traded Colby. I'll go Colby Rasmus.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right. Question 2 here, Troy. The 2024 Cardinals ranked 12th in the National League in homers. In fact, only one Central squad hit fewer ding-dong Johnsons during the regular season. Name that lowly club.
Pirates.
Final answer?
Final answer. Final answer.
Question number 3. Despite finishing 4th in the AL MVP voting in 2023, this once anointed superstar is batting just .266 since then.
Can you repeat that for me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Despite finishing 4th in the AL MVP voting in 2023, this once anointed superstar is batting just .266 since then.
I'll take the options.
Options are Vlad Guerrero Jr., Julio Rodriguez, or Alex Bregman.
I'll go Bregman here.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, Troy, final question. For whom did 300-win pitcher Lefty Grove play between 1934 and 1941? So who did Lefty Grove play for between 1934 and 1941?
Lefty Grove. Well, I wasn't alive back then. We'll take the options.
Was it the New York Yankees, the Boston Red Sox, or the Pittsburgh Crawfords?
Oh, boy.
We'll go Red. He sounds like a Red Sox guy.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, let's bring back Carey from the Cone of Silence. All right, now.
The Pittsburgh Crawfords named after Brandon Crawford.
Yes, absolutely. Right? They just didn't know it yet. They didn't realize he was going to be alive. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we figured. Trey, how you feeling?
I think if Carey just shows up, he'll probably be all right.
Okay, well, he is showing up. He's walking out of the Cone of Silence right now.
Oh.
He's got his Hazelwood Central gear on. Fighting Hawks.
Go Hawks.
More of a West guy myself.
Who are you?
Hazelwood West?
Hazelwood West, Trey?
No, Fort Zumwalt, actually. But
Fort Zumwalt, okay. All right. Carey, how's the Cone of Silence?
It was very silent.
Your category today is a baseball.
Is a baseball.
Marsh.
Pack a lunch.
Okay.
Question 1, and it's a good one. U.S. Baseball announced on Thursday that Mark DeRosa will manage the United States for the second straight baseball classic, World Baseball Classic. During DeRosa's loan, or a portion of, season in St. Louis in 2009, who struck out a team-high 106 times?
2009?
Yep.
Which player struck out?
Mm-hmm. In St. Louis, 2009, who struck out a team-high 106 times?
09. Ooh, I was not here. I have no clue. All right. Give me the options.
Colby Rasmus, Rick Ankiel, Ryan Ludwig.
Ooh. Ryan Ludwig feels... Let's go Ryan Ludwig. Final answer.
All right, Carey. Question number 2. The 2024 Cardinals ranked 12th in the National League in home runs. In fact, only one Central squad hit fewer ding-dong Johnsons during the regular season. Can you name that lowly team?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, in 2024, which is before 2025.
Thank you. I was confused.
The Cardinals ranked 12th in the National League in home runs.
Okay.
In fact, there was only one Central squad that hit fewer home runs during the regular season. Which team was that?
It's got to be the Pirates, doesn't it? I mean, Reds hit like 40 off of them in one game. Let's go Pirates. Final answer.
Question number 3. Despite finishing 4th in the AL MVP voting in 2023, this once anointed superstar is batting just .266 since then.
What year you say?
2023.
And finished 4th?
Finished 4th in the AL MVP voting in 2023.
Once anointed superstar? Oh. Give me the options.
Options are Vlad Guerrero Jr., Julio Rodriguez, Alex Bregman.
You say once anointed. I mean, Vlad just got a lot of money. I don't think he would use that. I don't know when this question was written. It's part of the problem. The Gauntlet. Alex Bregman, Vlad Guerrero, and who was the third one? Who was the other one?
Julio Rodriguez.
Let's go Julio. Final answer.
Final question, CD. For whom did 300-win pitcher Lefty Grove play between 1934 and 1941?
Oh, man, I was thinking about this the other day.
Yeah. You were telling me about
Lefty,
that.
eh?
Lefty Grove.
You think he was a lefty?
Oh, probably.
Nah. Seems like a righty.
1930, what?
1934, Carey.
Lefty Grove, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I was not born yet, Carey.
Man.
He was thinking it, I can confirm.
I know.
I want to take a shot in the dark, and I'm going to be mad if this team is on there. I want to say the Dodgers, but I feel like I should take the options. So give me the options. Dodgers are probably on there.
New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, or the Pittsburgh Crawfords.
Oh.
Yankees, Red Sox, Pittsburgh Crawfords.
Ooh, I'm glad I did take the options. Yankees, Red Sox, or Crawfords, you say? Let's go. Let's go Red Sox. Final answer.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Let's go over these. Let's start there. For whom did 300-win pitcher Lefty Grove play between 1934 and 1941? CD said, give me the Red Sox. Troy said, he seems like a Red Sox guy. Give me the Red Sox. Correct answer is, Jamie.
Well, the Pittsburgh Crawfords, interesting choice. But it was the Boston Red Sox.
Nice job. We got a 1-1 tie between Carey and Troy. Can't believe neither of you didn't know that off the top of your noggins.
All right. Seriously.
The 2024 Cardinals ranked 12th in the National League in homers. In fact, only one Central squad hit fewer ding-dong Johnsons during the regular season. Name that lowly club. Carey, you said, man, it's got to be the Pirates. Troy answered Pirates as if he wrote the question.
Literally.
Correct answer is...
Well, guys, it is not the Pittsburgh Crawfords. It's the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Nice job. Neither of you needed the options on that one. So we have a 3-3 tie.
All right, Troy, good job.
Attaboy, CD.
USA Baseball announced on Thursday that Mark DeRosa will manage the United States for the second straight World Baseball Classic. During DeRosa's lone or portion of season in St. Louis in 2009, who struck out a team-high 106 times. Troy, you said Colby Rasmus. Carey, you said Ryan Ludwig. Jamie, correct answer is...
Old Luddy, Ryan Ludwig.
Nice job. So Carey takes a 1-point lead. Final question. Despite finishing 4th in the AL MVP voting in 2023, this once anointed, anointed, slow down, Stalter. This once anointed superstar is batting just .266 since then. Carey, with the option, said Julio Rodriguez. Troy, with the option, said Alex Bregman. If it's Bregman, we've got a walk-off. If it's either Julio Rodriguez or Vlad Guerrero Jr., Carey wins today. Troy.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. Not today.
Correct answer is?
It's Julio Rodriguez.
It is Julio Rodriguez. CD wins today 5-3 over Troy. Troy, sorry, man. Thanks for playing. Great effort.
That's all right. The important thing is everybody had fun.
Darn
We
right.
did.
We
Good
all
job,
did. We
Troy.
shared a few laughs, maybe a tear or two. Nice job, Troy. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, fellas.
See you, bud. Carey, we're not. First of all, congrats. Nice job. Nice job, Carey.
Well done, Carey. Yeah.
I think we should do one more. Carey Davis. Wasn't as close.
Damn it.
Should we give him one more?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry. I tried, Jamie.
We're not going to pity Jamie. Jamie does. No, Jamie.
There you
No.
I don't think old Lefty would have played for the Crawfords. Just saying.
I think I'll pick it up when you're throwing down.
Just saying. I don't think he was eligible.
Well, then cross them off then. I'm glad
Why is that?
I'm glad I didn't get that question because, as Walrus King pointed out, I would have taken the outlier there, and I would have taken the Pittsburgh Crawfords.
It threw me off. I'm like, Crawfords are no. Am I missing something?
Anyways, Carey,
Not anymore.
Troy did answer that Pirates home run question in like 0.7 seconds.
Oh,
didn't
really?
he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We barely got finished with it, and he was like, Pirates.
I'm like, whoa.
It was pretty obvious, though, was it not?
Well,
I thought about it for a second because I feel like that's a trap question sometimes.
It's true.
Yeah. Like,
you got to think.
Give me a second. Yeah. I'm like, got to be the Pirates.
But Bradford, Bradford, sometimes he likes to trip you up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Do we see Colton Parayko tomorrow night? Even if he's not 100%. If so, who comes out? That's next on 101 ESPN. we see Colton Parayko tomorrow night, even if he's not 100%? If so, who comes out? It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. So, Jamie, first part of that question, do you think that we see Colton Parayko tomorrow night, even if he's not 100?
No, not if he's not 100%. I don't think that. If your last 2 games were against teams such as Minnesota Wild, Colorado Avalanche, Dallas Stars, like someone in the top tier, a playoff team for that matter, I think you might. But let's be real here. If your team that ran off 12 wins in a row can't get 2 wins against Seattle and Utah without risking the future health of your number 1 defenseman, like
you got issues.
You got issues. So if Colton Parayko's 100%, then yeah, he'll be in because my gosh, does he help your team in a hurry too? But if he's not 100% or he's not feeling it, like why would you risk that? I don't get it because your team should win these games regardless of who's on the back end. And what if he came back and you win the game? Great. But then he tweaks something and now he's not available for the first round of the playoffs. I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze at that point.
Yeah.
So what?
Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you go ahead. No, you go.
Well, I was just going to ask you if he is 100% and he does come back, who comes out of the lineup? Because that's probably the more interesting thing for Blues, the more interesting conversation for Blues fans.
Yeah, and this has been a hell of a conversation all over the place. People talk to me all the time about it, and even as broadcasters and some of the media members, it's a tough one because I don't see Nick Leddy coming out. Nick Leddy's played pretty good overall. I mean, everybody's had their little hiccups during this last 14-game stretch, but Nick Leddy skates so well. He's a veteran guy. He's a Stanley Cup champion. I don't know if I want to pull that guy out of the lineup at the most important time of the year.
Right.
And so then I think people automatically go, well, it's Tyler Tucker. He comes out, Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's automatic. Tyler Tucker's played pretty damn good, and his offensive side of the game has really picked up. I don't mean like getting points, but keeping plays alive offensively and or expanding plays offensively. He's available. And then you look at Ryan Suter. He's got over 1,500 games. He's got a current Ironman streak. I believe it's in the 500s as far as not missing a game.
No big deal.
That's a huge deal.
It's a huge deal. But here's where I go. Here's where I go when you talk about Ryan Suter is when he signed with the Blues, and I wasn't in on those discussions. I probably should have been, but I wasn't in on those discussions. But I imagine Doug Armstrong probably told him at some point, listen, man, like, you're probably not going to play every single game if we have a completely healthy team. Mm-hmm. I mean, why would you not say that to a 39 turning 40-year-old defenseman that you're signing for, league minimum with some bonuses? I can't imagine that Ryan Suter would think he's an automatic to play every single game. But now that he has played every game this season, it sort of causes a little bit of problems for you as a coaching staff because who the hell comes out?
Right.
Ideally, I shouldn't say ideally because that's not at all what I meant by it. But I think that if the playoffs started tomorrow, I think you'd have Fowler, Parayko, Broberg, Falk, Leddy, and I'd say Tucker to start.
Okay.
And then we go from there. Because, Suter, he is 40 years old. And when you watch some of the game, he's giving up some good ice where he wasn't earlier in the season. And it's not causing any problems. But he's giving up good ice because he's getting a little burnt out. And now he's still able to make the defensive plays. He's one of the most reliable guys you've got on your back end. But come playoff time, if he's burnt out, then that doesn't help the team at all. So maybe you go with Tyler Tucker, and then if he doesn't do the job that you think he can do, or you need more experience or whatever it is that you're looking for, then you can always go back to Ryan Suter, who will be arrested at that point, probably a little bit pissed off.
Arrested?
Arrested.
No. He's
Jeez.
not. He will be rested. Yeah. Please don't. No, let's not go there.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's my take. What do you guys? I want to hear you. I want to hear Marshy.
Oh, he's been chomping at He's been chomping at the bit.
Look at him.
He just kind of rolled over. He put that mic down. He's ready to go.
I honestly, like, I don't really have an opinion on it, to be honest.
Well,
like, I really
harsh.
It's not okay.
Hold on. What's rule number 5 in the fast lane? Even if you don't have an opinion, have an opinion.
Okay, so I do.
Just made it up.
I don't think that's rule number 5. I think that might be like 7.
Either way,
this is the first time I'm hearing about it too. But I honestly, I feel kind of comfortable with whoever they take out and put in there. I you know, like if it is Tyler Tucker, okay. If it's Ryan Suter, okay. I think a lot of people are bringing up Justin Falk. Some people are bringing up Nick Leddy.
That won't happen.
So there you go. Those Nick Leddy, Justin Falk, they're not coming out of the lineup. So basically, it's coming down to Suter and Tyler Tucker. Tyler Tucker's been great. So to me, it doesn't matter. We do get a question though, and we're actually getting this from a lot of different people on the text line, and we've seen the Blues do this before. In fact, the last time they were in the playoffs, rolling with 7 defensemen.
No.
There you go.
I already know where you were going. Nope. Jim Montgomery is not going to roll like that. Just like he wasn't rolling with Pavel Buchnevich as a center. The first thing he said when he got here is like, that guy's not a center. He's done. Nope, we're done with this. Yeah. Why would you so let's digest that just for a second, Marcy. And I know it's a question that you got from the Snake Pit or the text line. But if that's the case, then you would have to pull a player out probably from the WTF line, because your fourth line, you'd probably pull in minus a forward. What are you doing? Like that's a playoff line. All year long since they've been assembled, all we talk was, they remind me a lot of Sundqvist, Barbashev, and Steen. Well, can you imagine if you didn't play those guys together and you put 7 defensemen? It causes
you would have lost to Winnipeg.
Well, it causes a bad rhythm too in your lines. So no, the answer would be absolutely not.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Well done, Jamie. I like that you were just definitive about it.
Yes.
Marsh, you see that?
I struggle sometimes with confidence in my opinion, so thank you.
Is that a shot at me?
Not at all, Marsh.
No, just keep calling Parayko out. They've been fine. Is that what you want me to say?
Why did you go old-timey there?
Yeah, what was that?
No, honestly, I've been doing it a lot lately.
I feel like old-timey just did it once in a while, just slips into your voice pattern.
Like, I don't know what it is. I like changing my voice up. I do it with the Saliga reads all the time. Like sometimes it just happens and I can't control it.
To perfection.
I can't control it, Anthony. It just comes out like this.
I hear you. All right, Sports Six Pack is next. So if you got a question, send it to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Sports Six Pack Part 1 next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Your Blues take on the Seattle Kraken tomorrow night. It's a late one. Pregame starts at 8 o'clock. Puck drop is at 9. We will talk with Blues head coach Jim Montgomery at 5 o'clock. So stay tuned for that. But coming up next, we have our Sports Six-Pack. So if you have a question you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. We will do our Sports Six-Pack next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Andrew Marsh has got your questions for the... Okay.
How important is coffee in your lives?
I used to drink it every day, and then...
Coffee?
You
drink your coffee
then I
drinker,
get migraines.
No, I don't drink coffee. I don't need it, Carey. I'm high on life.
And mentality, 2 different locations. One in Chesterfield, one in South County. LoveTUSA.com.
All right, go ahead. Question 1, please.
Question number 1.
Hang on.
That was question 0.
Why was the question being asked?
Yeah, why did you ask that question, Carey?
Well, I started drinking mushroom coffee. And
he's drinking shrooms.
Mushroom coffee, I order it online.
What kind of mushroom, Carey?
I don't know. I didn't make the coffee, Jamie. It's just called mushroom coffee.
Someone's giving me a mushroom coffee.
Get
I
you
want to
some
kind of know what I'm
hot
getting
water.
into, you know?
You know, this all started about 6 months ago, 4 months ago. I started drinking this. Yeah. Part of my life.
Yeah.
Around 4:30. Usually need a cup of Joe. Keep me in the mood, keep me going.
Sure. Yeah.
Where do you think Cup of Joe came from?
Maybe a guy named Joe was the one that used to brew the pot.
I know if you guys want to.
You don't know.
I want to hear it.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us why.
I mean, I have to at this point.
As you guys know, the Romans were the first to discover the coffee bean.
Oh yeah.
Now,
All the way in
nobody,
Rome.
there was nobody named Joe back in the Roman days. Okay,
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive, but there's 3 people that discovered it. Each name, the first letter in each name, J-O-E, and of course you drink coffee out of a cup, hence Cup of Joe.
I like that one. What were their names, if you don't mind telling me?
They're Roman S names.
What are they?
I can't. I don't want to butcher. I don't want to butcher this. I don't want to butcher the story.
Well, then just spell them.
Not now.
Anthony, I think you're on the right track, but it was actually Joseph Amadeus, who was a gladiator at the time, at the Roman Colosseum.
Yeah.
He had what we call a cup of Joe, right? A cup of coffee at the Colosseum because he died so quickly. But he was one of those very, lovable gladiators.
He's a fan favorite.
He was a fan favorite.
Quickly,
he had a cup of coffee at the Coliseum before he, unfortunately,
his name on it.
He got the thumbs down, unfortunately, and died.
I don't care if you're a fan favorite or not. You can't get whipped in that in the Coliseum.
For sure. Briefly.
Yeah.
So they called it a cup of Joe because of Joseph Amadeus.
Gators actually got the names from the Snake Pit. It's Julius, Sisyphus, and Aeneas.
It's what?
Yep.
Julius has what?
Julius, Sisyphus, and Aeneas.
Oh, sorry. I heard something else.
Cup of Joe.
You all are hilarious.
There you have
Do we have a question?
Yeah, we have a real one.
Question number 1.
All right, from Great Francis Fan Club. If you put Doug Armstrong in charge of whoever you think it is, the worst team in the NHL, Buffalo Sabres, how long do you think it would take him to build a contender?
Well, if it was the Buffalo Sabres, I don't think it would take too long. He's got to have a lot of first-round picks on that roster right now. And the Pakula family have a lot of money, so I can't imagine that getting free agents would be difficult. And I think free agents would be drawn there once they found out that the team had an actual sense of direction with someone like Doug Armstrong. So I think it would take him a couple of years, though, still, because there's a lot of work to be done there. No matter what team you pick, if it's the Chicago Blackhawks, if it's a Buffalo Sabres, if it's the San Jose Sharks. Although the Sharks, I will say this, they got a lot of really good young talent, and they'll probably be back in the mix in 2 or 3 years for being a playoff team. I give Army, with the cap going up, and most of these teams having a whole bunch of first-round picks on their roster because they've been bad for an extended period of time, I'd give them 3 years before that team's better, like playoff-ish.
No, I like it. 3 to 5. I'll say 3 to 5. Yeah, 3 to 5.
Anthony, he didn't run over anybody.
No, I mean, he didn't. He's
you were telling us earlier that a certain blue was getting arrested.
He said he was.
That is not true. That is false. Fake news.
The 636 says, I don't know what to believe anymore.
They believe us, obviously.
The fast lane, where you leave with more questions than answers.
The Stubborn Stash says, this is why you never get to our questions.
Probably not right. Wrong.
But we had our own questions.
We did.
That's true. Yeah.
Talking about a cup of Joe.
Yeah.
And it kind of spun out of control.
Jamie, that tagline might be the most appropriate I've ever heard for this show. The fast lane.
Available soon.
Where you leave with more questions than you had. All right, go ahead.
Question number 2.
All right, since the Stubborn Stash wants your question answered, why don't we go to the Stubborn Stash? Boys, do you think Luther Burden will be a steal in the second round, or is he truly a second-round talent?
I think going into the season, he was looked at as a first-round talent. He was looked at as a top 5, top 10 pick. Maybe not the production that the teams wanted, but that's not. He's playing a dependent position, meaning he's out there on the outside, depending on a quarterback to get the ball to him, depending on an offensive line and running backs to protect long enough for him to get open. So I think he's still a first-round talent. He had a really good pro day, a really good combine. He ran well. He did everything really well. So I think he's going to wherever he lands. There's an opportunity, whether you're a first-round draft pick or a second-round draft pick. I mean, honestly, if you're a second-round draft pick, you can get to the bag a little bit quicker.
That's true.
Especially if you're compared to a later first-round pick, you can get those 4 years in and become a free agent and not have to have that fifth-year option. So there is upside to not being a first-round pick. Obviously, everybody wants to go first-round, have their name called, walk across the stage and greet the commissioner. But, wherever he lands, I don't think that diminishes his talent. He's still going to have an opportunity to play good football for a good team.
I think he's a late first, early second.
It just depends on how everything shakes up differently depending on what happens in the earlier in the first round, and how players fall to the teams that they need. Mm-hmm. If it's a needed position and he's the best receiver on the board, he could go first round. If it's not, then he could be a second round guy.
I think the big questions are going to be for teams. And it's a team game, obviously, but I think for NFL teams, you're probably going to wonder, okay, you had 86 receptions for over 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns, earned all first-team All-SEC honors, and then the second year was 61 catches, 676 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Right.
So, he probably at the combine and in these team draft, you're probably going to have to answer the question of dip.
You want me to tell you what the dip was?
The quarterback play.
Nope.
Offensive line play.
Nope.
Can't run the ball.
There you go.
Okay.
There's a guy that ran the ball. I told this kid never.
Hold on. You ran the ball. You ran the ball last year, just fine.
No.
Yeah.
Cody Schrader was different. We're not going.
Cody Schrader was really good, but it's not like you couldn't run the ball at all last year.
There's a difference.
You're a difference.
Nah.
And I don't even know what that means.
You're a difference maker, Carey.
You just don't have any more.
We know what you wanted to say.
I have nothing left.
Oh,
Go ahead.
no, Cody Schrader was the difference. That young man forced defenses to play 8 in the box. No, he's not. But he was a difference maker. He never came off the field. He was a guy that you had to. And I know numbers-wise, it probably translates to the same in terms of what he did and what the last 2 running backs did last year, but it's not the same. Like, there's not as much of a threat as there was with Cody Schrader. And when you have a running back that was as good as he was, there are more people in the box, which means there are less people outside, and there's more opportunity to score big touchdowns.
Fair enough.
Question number 3.
How many people are usually in the box, Carey?
If you got a good running back, you have 8. Not 7.
Okay.
If he's really bad, 6. But
okay,
you can get 8 guys in that box. Makes it hard to run the ball.
Then you throw it.
Yeah,
that's crowded.
Action.
Sling the ball around.
That's pretty crowded.
Yeah.
For the 314, do we believe Dylan Holloway's injury is more serious than we think, or are they just being way more cautious so we can get some more rest for the playoffs and heal up?
I don't have any insider information. I wish I did, because it certainly would make me feel better knowing what we got going on with Dylan Holloway. But one would be forced to believe that it's a little more serious than originally thought, hence the week-to-week prognosis, which means that they're not sure how he's going to be and that it's not imminent that he's back anytime soon. So, yeah, is it horrible? I don't know. Is it worse than what we probably thought originally? Yes. I think it must be.
All right, that's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Jim Montgomery will join us at 5:15 today. 5:15, Jim Montgomery will be on with us. So we'll talk to Lou's head coach about a variety of topics. But we have part 2 of the Sports Six Pack next, so keep those questions coming in. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Again, Sports Six Pack, part 2 next.
time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com.
All right, before we get to the Sports Six-Pack, one of the texters decided to give everybody, I guess, Marsh, kind of a public service announcement, and I want to make sure that it's read. Yeah.
Yeah, you want me to read it, Anthony?
Please do, word for word.
All right, from the 636, a cup of Joe has nothing to do with the Romans. Google it. Thank God for this country's obsession with sports. Otherwise, all of you morons will be living in extreme poverty. For real! Exclamation point.
The best part about that, you're not wrong. You know? Thank God for sports.
He's not wrong, but
Anthony, don't correct.
Okay.
No,
we listen.
just leave it out there.
Yep, leave it there.
leave it there.
Don't
All
judge.
right.
Don't yell at me, Carey.
I won't
sorry.
judge him.
I won't yell at you anymore.
Yeah.
I'll wait till you get back, and then I'll yell at you.
Yeah, that's more fun.
All right. What do you?
He's right. We're morons.
Yeah.
It is what
We
it is.
are.
Turns out.
Yeah.
Are we the only ones, though?
Turns out he's
Apparently
right.
we're not.
Turns out he's right. Apparently, a cup of Joe is not
For the Roman times? No. You don't know, Anthony.
Thank
You're
God
not
for
sure.
that texter's existence. Or else
Yeah, I
we may
wonder
just
what,
walk around aimlessly and
what his-
fall over.
You don't know.
I wonder what his poverty level is at.
Yeah. Well,
No.
I doubt
No,
that's
you're
low
good.
at all. Yeah.
Doing good.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
He's super successful.
Oh, he's got to be.
Yeah.
All right, Marsh, go ahead.
Wait, are you serious? The cup of Joe wasn't invented in the Roman times?
Well, according to the texter.
Marshy, just let it go, Marshy.
We're trying to figure this out.
Dumb enough.
Hold on. I got to say this. Do you think the texter heard that, the listener heard that, and then Googled it? And then swung back around to say,
so.
you guys are idiots.
I hope so.
Like, do you
That's
think
what I-
that
You
was
gotta
the
do your-
sequence?
You got to do your due diligence.
314 said the texter just proved his point.
Yeah.
Well done. Go ahead, Marsh. Sorry.
Question number 4.
All right, from Frank the Tank from the 812. Do you think Ollie Marmol would be a better manager if he made his own decisions? I think he would be.
I think he'd be, well, I think he makes his own decisions, but he makes his own decisions based on this roster. I think he'd be a better manager if he had the Dodgers roster.
Wouldn't be.
Exactly. Hence my point.
I'd be a better manager if I had the Dodgers roster.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Which is my bigger point about Major League Baseball
You can
managers.
send down the lineup to me, and I'll manage the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Well done.
I think he'd be a better manager if he was the manager of the Dodgers or the Phillies or the Braves, although the Braves are struggling right now.
Yeah, they won last night.
You get the point.
The 314 says, in reference to that texter calling us morons, he's also kidding. You morons.
Is he?
Okay.
Are we sure?
Is he?
I don't know.
Hard to pick up sarcasm via text. You should know.
Yeah. I think it's easier to pick up sarcasm when 4 guys are joking about it, you know? But I don't know. It's just-
No. Hey, we're very serious people.
We are. We can be.
Question number 5.
In all seriousness, though, Ollie does make his own decisions. He's hamstrung by the roster.
He's literally said it many times.
From the 314, what are your plans for the weekend?
Oh, Anthony, what are your plans?
I got 2 big games.
What are you going to do?
Falcons got 2 big games this weekend. Flag football, first grade, second grade division. We got an all first grade team, boys. We're going up against all second graders on Sunday. We got our hands full. But boys will be ready. So we got a little practice session tomorrow. 2 games on Sunday. Killian's got a soccer game tonight. Madeline with a volleyball game. So we got a jam-packed weekend. Sports weekend. Good. Oh, and I have to mow my lawn because thanks to Green Envy, my lawn looks fantastic, but it's really high. Lush green. I need to mow that puppy at some point. Neighbors are starting to neighbor Dave's looking at me like, dude,
What are we doing?
What are we doing? If you need a lawnmower, you know where you put your last one. It's in my garage. So, yeah. How about you guys?
Think I am. I'm chilling. I'm gonna relax. May go to the Battlehawks game on Sunday.
You'll see Marshy there.
Yeah. May be there, hanging out. But other than that, I'm just gonna chill.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'll be here in Seattle, guys. Hopefully, broadcasting a Blues win on Saturday night. Then we fly back Sunday to St. Louis. Going to waste all my day flying. That's wonderful. But can I have a hot take? It may be unpopular.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Seattle might be my least favorite city to go to on the road.
I think you might be spot on.
How come?
Yeah. People here are very nice. They're not like mean people or anything, but like there's really nothing to do here. Like you go to the fish market. I've been there 2 years ago. I've been there, done that. That's kind of fun. They throw fish around. That's great. Now what? And then the weather is all over the place, mostly rainy and cloudy, which is somewhat depressing to say the least. And there's really not anything to do. Like they got a couple of restaurants and things, but it's like when I'm thinking about I would have rather stayed in Edmonton for another 2 days before coming to Seattle, or I'd rather go to Buffalo.
Oh, wow. Whoa, Buffalo?
It's very telling about
Holy
Seattle.
smokes.
And, it's not anybody's fault, but there's a lot of homeless people here in Seattle. I mean, I'm sure it's somebody's fault, but I'm not blaming any one in particular person or entity.
Sure.
And, so it's you're walking around obstacles and, just not my favorite. Just going to leave it out there.
All right. Have you gone to one of the spots where they have the best Roman coffee in America?
Yeah, they're everywhere here.
Okay.
They're everywhere here.
Good.
And the coffee's great, but this coffee's the same in St. Louis as it is here.
Got it.
The Roman coffee?
We're right on the water, which is kind of nice. It's cool. You see some big freight liners and stuff. Great, wonderful.
You're not impressed at all.
He doesn't sound like it. He sounds like he's ready to get out of there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough, Jamie. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Vancouver's not far from there. Vancouver's a nice city.
Vancouver's gorgeous.
It's a beautiful city.
Vancouver's gorgeous.
I've been
Lots
there.
of things to do. Trendy restaurants, all sorts of great things in Vancouver. I don't know why Seattle is just not quite there, I don't know. Maybe the outskirts of Seattle are beautiful. Maybe I'm missing something, but I can only tell you what I've seen.
Okay.
It's not great.
All right. Okay. That was your Sports Six Pack Part 2 again. Jim Montgomery. Waterboy says, wow, Fastlane just lost all their Seattle listeners. Absolutely. Yeah. There they go. Jim Montgomery, 5:15. Coming up next, would forcing small market teams to spend more actually improve the entertainment product? Carey says yes. I say not so fast, my friend. That's next on 101 ESPN. Speaking of loving it, you're going to love Underdog Fantasy. If you haven't played before, first and foremost, Underdog Fantasy is live in our state here in Missouri. Second of all, if you're playing anything this weekend sports-wise, whether it's golf or baseball or basketball, you got to check out Underdog. Of course, the Blues play tomorrow. Underdog allows you to play for as little as $1 and win up to 1,000 times your money just for your basketball knowledge, your baseball knowledge, your hockey knowledge. Choose some of the players that you think will have a big game, higher or lower on their stats. So, for instance, if you think that a basketball player is going to go higher on his points or assists or rebounds, fantastic. You choose him. And then Underdog gives you the opportunity to play other sports, too, in that same pick line. So you can pick a basketball player, an NHL player, golfer, and group them all together, and then, again, just go higher or lower in their stats, and then you can win up to 1,000 times your money. You're going to love playing Underdog. Download the Underdog app. Sign up now using my promo code Anthony. Just use Anthony to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up using the promo code Anthony and claim your special offer today. Get that $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona. I'm present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. So Carey and I have been kind of in a battle when it comes to the entertainment value of Major League Baseball. I think it's boring AF because, you know, there's really only a couple of teams that can win the World Series each and every year. Oh, I know. Diamondbacks got in a couple of years. I know. There's some outliers. I get it, right? I get it. The Chiefs, they win the Super Bowl. I know. I understand that. But at least I feel like in the NFL, even my crap Falcons team, they have a shot to make the playoffs every year. My crap Cardinals team does not. That's the point I'm trying to make, right? The entertainment value isn't necessarily there. So I came across an article that was like, well, if you just force small market teams to spend more, that will improve the products. I think it's one step. Like, Carey, you have made that point. You have made the point about the Dodgers not being the problem. The Pirates are the problem. Teams like the Pirates not spending. I agree with you. But I don't think spending and like forcing teams to spend and just get up to the line makes them smarter, and therefore they're not going to win more and the fans aren't going to be engaged. So I think it's a step in the right direction. But unless the team wins, it really doesn't matter if they're forced to spend more. the fans won't be interested if the team stinks. So that's kind of where I'm at on it.
Well, the teams stink. Like, we can't assume that they're just going to spend more money
wisely
on crap players.
Right. We can't just assume that the Pirates are going to spend money wisely if they're forced to spend.
Or poorly, too. Like, we can't assume that they're going to spend it poorly either.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not like they're going to go and all of a sudden acquire Miles Michaelis because they want to spend more money, and it's not for sure that they'd make a bad baseball decision. See,
that would be.
Well, yeah. But I'm kind of in the other direction with this. Is I think that if you force the small market teams to spend to a certain floor or whatever you want to call it, threshold, I think they would get better, because those teams who don't have the money per se or don't want to spend the money are going to make damn sure that they sign the right players for their dollar's worth, because they don't want to just waste money, good money on a bad player.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would improve the product. Now how drastically, I don't know. Like, ultimately, what are you talking about? The Pirates becoming a World Series contender? Like, I don't see that happening.
Right.
But could the Central Division in each league be more competitive with the rest of the league if they were forced to spend a little more money? Like, if the Cardinals were forced to spend another, I don't know, 25, 30 million this year, let's just say, they probably would have went out and got something for their rotation that made some sense. They would have got some players that could get them to maybe first place in the Central Division. I'm not going to say anything more than that, but so that's kind of where my thoughts are on it. Is I think that if you force teams to spend more money, I think the product would get better.
Where is the number that you would say? Is it 100 million?
I don't think I don't think it matters. I think Splashback Deuce, and I know you're trying to make a point.
Yeah.
If you raise the low water mark, the same teams might still be at the bottom. I agree with that. Yeah,
it's possible.
Which is kind of my point in that
they're all going to be right there at that number.
Right. We're going to spend more, but we're going to spend more on bad players or mediocre players just because we have to. I think the only thing that this could really help is if you force a team, hey, you need to spend more. Well, maybe the Pirates are like, all right, well, if we need to spend more, we're going to spend it on Paul Skeens. I think retaining your homegrown players, I think it could help that. And wouldn't be a bad thing.
But it's the same thing, though. You're slicing the bread the same way, basically.
Still going to lose.
You're going to spend the money and keep. I don't necessarily think that's true. I just don't. I think that if teams are money conscious, just like most people in life, if you operate on a budget, you're going to make sure that you get the most bang for your buck. You're going to make sure you find the good deals that are out there. You're not just going to spend recklessly just because you have the money in your pocket. You're going to be spending wisely. And I think that these teams, if they don't have the big revenues like the major teams do, I think they'll spend their money wisely, which would be on good baseball players.
Like the Cardinals.
Ish.
Like the Cardinals.
Ish. Well, they didn't spend money, though, this year. They cut back. They shed payroll.
But when they have spent, they have not spent wisely.
It's not their fault.
Well, Anthony, I don't know
whose fault is it? The fans?
No, the players.
Hamsinger?
I don't know if you can say that.
Everybody wants to blame. Great.
What can I say?
The Cardinals have been a playoff-type team for how many years? So, define success, because and this is the argument or the discussion we have a lot with Cardinals fans is, we haven't won a title since, but then you're you're second place behind the Yankees in total titles, and I'm really stretching that one out.
Yeah,
but let's go back. Just in the 2000s, there's not a whole lot of seasons that you call failures. Maybe from a standpoint of winning championships or pennants, but as far as failures are concerned, it's only been recently that we call those seasons failures.
I think the way they have operated has got them to this point. That's just my opinion. And I also
think fair.
And I also think playing in, and this has nothing to do with spending. But I also think playing in the NL Central has benefited them greatly.
Again, fair.
But you're right. I mean, we're really only talking about the last 2 years where the Cardinals have been what we now call crap.
Yeah, because let's go back to 3 years ago when Albert in his last run.
Yeah.
There's no way anybody can view that season as a failure.
No.
I mean, you didn't win the wild card. That's fine. Okay. No, they didn't win. You didn't win crap. They didn't win the series.
Oh,
no, that's
catch.
Fine. Yeah, that was a good catch. it almost came flying out, and I looked down. I didn't have a dump button. I'm like, Orlando, my teammates, but nobody that year didn't have a great time with Yachty, Albert, Waino. Like the baseball stadium was overflowing with people, which I know was why people were pissed off the next year because the Cardinals, tended to not spend money, and they said that they would because of the success of Albert's season and things like that. But I'm just saying it's not that long ago where the stadium was packed and people were loving Cardinals baseball.
Right. Yeah. Those days are over. For now. For now. I said for now. Okay? Don't put your negativity on me, Carey.
I was being positive about it.
Jim Montgomery's next. We'll talk to the head coach of your St. Louis Blues about a variety of topics. Always love chatting with the head coach, Jim Montgomery, who joins us next on 101 ESPN. If you've been shopping for a new car recently, you may notice that some of these dealerships, they brag about having a pretty big inventory. And then you drive out to there and you drive out to the dealership and they're like, oh, no, that's location B. It's 4 counties over. Oh, great, because I went to your website, then I went to your dealership, and the car isn't here that I want to test drive. I'm out. Head to Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. They've got over 800 new and used vehicles, all in one location. So new and used vehicles, over 800, all in one location. One massive location right off I-55 in McNutt and Herculaneum. Just minutes from South County. No scavenger hunt is required. They're going to have the vehicle that you see at AutoCentersNissan.com ready for you to test drive. And forget about overpaying. These vehicles are priced to move. Plus, on all new Nissans, you get the complimentary lifetime warranty and the 30-day return promise. Gives you a peace of mind that you're not going to find anywhere else. Check them out online at AutoCentersNissan.com. When you head out to Herculaneum this weekend, tell them Stalter sent you. Auto Centers Nissan. Big inventory, bigger savings, zero nonsense.
Talk with the head coach of your St. Louis Blues, Jim Montgomery. Coach Monty is presented by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis. I already said Jamie. I could say him twice.
Yeah.
That's how damn important he is in this show.
Thank you for noticing.
Absolutely. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Callier and Thompson phone line. We're joined by the head coach of our St. Louis Blues right here on the Blues Radio Network, 101 ESPN. It's Coach Jim Montgomery. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, gentlemen, because the St. Louis Blues just practiced like a bunch of champions today.
Oh, love it.
Whoa,
breaking news here. I love it.
I like it.
As a coach, you love it when your team practices well.
So what?
It just shows like an eagerness and a focus that you want.
Okay, so beyond that, Coach, what else did you see today that really led you? Because most coaches, I'm sure you're the same. You're like, you're kind of focused on the things you need to work on. What did they show you today that leaves you in a great mood?
Just our pace, our execution was really good. And the power plays, were making a lot of plays. And, when your power play's in a good rhythm, it just seems like offensively we went our 2-on-1 drill. There was a lot of goals being scored. And then some high-end saves by our two elite goaltenders.
Coach, a couple of losses for you guys here recently, and it's tough. You guys had a 12-game heater, which was incredible, and then you lose a couple, and you feel like, not you guys, but Blues fans feel like the sky is falling at times. So for you, you talk about the great practice today, but what's been the message from the coaching staff to the players, or even the players to the coaching staff here in the last couple of days?
Well, I think, I think we realized that, our habits have slipped a little bit, and they slipped a little bit in the last couple of wins, and that we got to get back to being a puck pressure team, all 200 feet. We felt like our forward check and our staying on pucks in the offensive zone and D zone has dissipated, and it's led to us having to defend a lot more because of both ends of the ice.
Now, Coach, we were listening to your post-game presser after the Winnipeg game, and to me, you sounded like you were being a little coy about how you felt about your team. You praised the Jets, but you sounded to me like you felt something a little bit more about your team. Now, I haven't worn skates yet. I haven't played for the Blues yet, but you can talk to me as though I'm one of your players. What did you tell the team? What secrets did you tell them about that game, and how confident you were in them?
Well, what I've liked about the last two games, honestly, is we've played, two of the top 8 teams in the league. And the difference between the games was one play. Now, I felt the Winnipeg game, we were less involved like we were in Edmonton. So it's kind of, when you go on a 12-game win streak and you lose one, there's kind of like an exhale, and I think the exhale is done and over with. We made some mistakes we haven't made in the Edmonton game, because if that's a week ago, we win that game. And I just think the way we've gone about staying in the moment is what's going to allow us not only to punch our ticket to the playoffs, but have success in the playoffs.
Now, Coach, we love to be right on this show, and I just want to thank you for that comment, because you just proved me right to these fellas here. I told them, stop worrying.
Hey, whoa.
You were working. These two fellas here, you were working, and I told them, don't worry. You just played two of the top teams in hockey, and it's okay. It's not, you don't want to lose, but you played well, and you were in those games, and they argued with me, Coach. So I appreciate you validating what I've been saying for the last couple of days.
Well, Jamie Rivers comes on these trips with us, and he is a really sharp hockey mind, but he doesn't really come and ask me for real insight where he might gain something to share with our Blues fans on this radio show.
Shame on him.
Well, hey, hang on. Full transparency. The other day, I was the only media person at the rink, and I wanted to ask Monty a couple of questions, and he walked away from me. It hurt my feelings.
nap time.
At least, Jamie, you knew who he was. I mean, some people in Nashville, they struggle. They struggle with that. Coach Jim Montgomery joins us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Coach, how difficult is it to restructure things without Dylan Holloway offensively?
Well, it is and it isn't, because we've had so many guys step up and gain so much confidence here over the last 2 months that, we have options with Bolduc, with our wingers, rotating between our centers. Like, the four centers haven't changed. So the options we have with wingers who have produced, like Jake Neighbors, Bolduc, Snuggerud, Kyrou, Buchnevich, it gives us a lot of options that we have people we can move around. And because they're so skilled and their hockey sense is so high, they can easily change and adapt with the centers that we have.
Coach, it's getting close, obviously, to the end of the season. 2 games left here, and you're still without your number one defenseman in Colton Parayko. This just an update. Any chance that we see him in the lineup tomorrow night, and how's he doing? And see him walk around skating. Seems like he's doing pretty good, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's hockey ready.
Yeah, I see him getting closer and closer. Like last week, I said he's not close. He's getting close. How close he is really going to be dependent on the next couple of days. But for me, I've always thought the Utah game at home was a really good chance that Colton Parayko would be back in the lineup. I'm not ruling out tomorrow, but I do think tomorrow's doubtful.
Coach, you talked about your forwards and how proud you have been of their play. What have you thought about the 2 young guys, Snuggerud and Dvorsky? What have you thought about their play of these last couple of games?
Well, I think Snuggerud, his details have been really good without the puck, and he's had at least 2 good scoring chances to score. It's a matter of time before it pops for him. And, Dvorsky, he had played the one game, played well. He gets in a game yesterday, 2 days ago, against Edmonton, and that was a whole nother level than the Detroit game he played in. And the intensity and the emotion in that game was playoff-like. And I think, us putting him on left wing, not in his familiar position, it was a fast adjustment from someone playing in a second NHL game. And I think it's just normal. Like, he's 19 years old. Things are happening a lot quicker than he's ever seen them happen. You get on the ice at McDavid, and you're like, it's hard at 19 not to look at the best player in the world and say, wow.
Yeah.
Because I'm behind the bench and I'm saying, wow, and I'm not even on that.
Speaking of which, did you say wow when your goaltender just took down one of the Oilers the other night? Because I said that. It was more than wow.
Well, I got to tell you, as a team, we were really upset with that play. Mm-hmm. And I give Vinner all kinds of credit. His maturity has grown so much. He made a lot of great saves after that to give us an opportunity to get to overtime. And I think if that's 4 years ago, I don't know if he would have gotten out of the game at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a bit of a dirty play for sure, Coach. And I think that the one thing that I really liked, and I'm sure you did too, is, Jordan Binnington gets involved in a physical altercation with another player, but then all 5 guys on the ice came storming in. Jake Neighbors drops the mitts, grabs Corey Perry, Braden Shen is in there. Like, that's the difference right there when you have a team that's willing to do that stuff for each other.
And that's been there for a long time now, and it's something as a coach, you're just really proud of your group that they stick together. And again, we've talked about that pack mentality, but that pack mentality, it's ingrained in us now.
All right, Coach, I got one more for you here, and this has been actually kind of the question of the day in the Fast Lane. We've had lots of participation on the text line with it, too, and I consider you to be a pretty smart guy. Contrary to what other people say, Monty, I think you're a really smart guy, okay? Where do you think the phrase, a cup of Joe, came from?
A cup of Joe, I would think, came from somewhere in Italy, because Giuseppe liked his espresso. And then when he got stamped with his cousin to New York, Tony, and got off the boat. He became Joe.
You know what? That's it right there.
There it is. There's
there
the
it
answer,
is.
boys.
That's the answer. Coach, we love having you on this show, especially for moments like those. We appreciate you. Go get them tomorrow night in Seattle. We'll certainly be locked in, and we can't wait to see you guys wrap things up for the regular season next week.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. We'll see you.
Bye.
Thanks, Coach. He wasn't far off.
He really wasn't.
He went Italy, not Roman times.
What do you think of that, Texter? I also love the jab there at the Italians.
Get the Tony.
Tony to New York. That's hilarious. He's the best. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We have Bet the Board next on 101 ESPN.
All right, you heard the fellas. They talked about Bet the Board coming up next. Well, what better way to bet the board than using my Circa Sports Illinois app? And I'm staring at a game right now that I like. Montreal plays in Ottawa tonight. On the money line, Senators minus 140. That's where I'm going right there. Senators minus 140. And I'm going to use my Circa Sports Illinois app because it is really user-friendly. They've got great lines for all their futures bets. They got the player props, the parlays, tight money line splits, and they also have the best odds of any app that's out there right now. Download any other app. Go online. Check it out. Circa Sports gives you the best odds. Therefore, you get the best payouts. And they don't need any of the promos because the promo is the payout for that matter. They've got high betting limits as well, and it just really is awesome that every day you can pick up your phone, your iPad, whatever it is, your computer, get on Circa Sports Illinois, the app, find the best odds, and have a really good time betting on some sports out there. So please don't miss out on the action. Download Bet Like a Pro with your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on all the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues take on the Seattle Kraken tomorrow night. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 8 o'clock. Puck drop is at 9. We just talked with Blues head coach Jim Montgomery. If you missed that interview or anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. The Cardinals take on the Phillies tonight. Andre Palante on the mound going up against Aaron Nola. First pitch is at 7:15. And before tonight's game, we will try and beat the streak. And then we're going to play Bet the Board. That's all coming up next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh. And this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
I want to hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You ready to hit?
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
Time to play Beat the Streak here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. This is where all of us have an opportunity to choose one player, either from the Cardinals or their opponent that night, to get a hit. And if we get a hit, then we continue the streak. Marsh, what's our latest standings?
All right, well, Darren is returning today. Darren did get a base hit thanks to Alec Burleson. And so he has a streak of 1. Carey has a streak of 1. And unfortunately, Anthony, you, me, and Jamie are back to 0.
Only got 1?
You heard the man.
I'm sorry. Carey has a streak of 3.
I was going to say.
Sorry, my bad. My bad. I was looking at that wrong. It says right here 3.
All right. Now tell me what my streak is. 3?
No, you're 0, Anthony.
Oh, okay.
He was correct on yours.
Yeah, I was absolutely correct.
Okay.
All right.
CD, who would you like?
He strikes out a lot, but give me Kyle Schwarber.
Darren, happy Friday to you. Who would you like?
I want my guy, Jordan Walker.
Hey, nice
Jordan Walker. Okay. Jamie?
Lars Nootbaar.
Lars Taylor, Tatsui Nootbaar. Marshy?
Anthony, I'm gonna take your guy. I know you're gonna pick him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me Bryce Harper.
Okay. Yep, I was gonna pick him. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Give me Nicholas Castellanos, please. Castellanos.
You guys went with a lot of Phillies. Why is that?
As did you. She said, "You guys,
can we play this game tomorrow,
please?" Be a little easier with old Miles McCollus on the bench.
That's not what I meant.
That's what you meant. All right, so Darren's got Jordan Walker. Carey took Kyle Schwarber. I have Nicholas Castellanos. Jamie has Lars Taylor, Tatsui Nootbaar, and Andrew Marsh has Bryce Harper. Darren, good luck to you. Have a great weekend, man.
Hey, you do the same. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, from Bet the Board, or I'm sorry, from Beat the Streak to Bet the Board. All right. Marsh, latest standings for Bet the Board.
All right, so let's make sure I get this one correct. Anthony, you have 5 points. Carey, you have 5 points. Jamie and I have 4 points. And Jamie probably thinks he has 5 points, but he has 4 points.
I don't think he knew.
No, he's got
did
5.
not.
Why would I think that?
Yeah.
No, he's
got 4. You know he's got 4.
What?
He got 4.
Well, I mean, he had the Ducks yesterday.
No, he didn't have the Ducks yesterday.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I sent you guys a Bet the Board yesterday.
You did. He's got 4 points, Marsh.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
This is a garbage.
Wow. Carey.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani. 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI. Over, please, and thank you.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to take the Phillies tomorrow night, minus 150 against Miles McCollum.
Is it 150?
Right on the dot.
Oh, gosh.
Minus 150 tomorrow for the Phillies. Please and thank you. All right,
Shame on
Jamie.
Yeah, Oilers play the Sharks tonight. I've got Connor McDavid with a power play point at plus 105.
What has he ever done? He's pretty good.
That guy sucks.
Yeah, that guy sucks. All right, Marsh.
Give me the over in tonight's Wild and Flames game, over 5.5.
You like a lot of goals, huh?
Well, there's a lot of goals scored in that Wild Sharks game the other night.
Oh, boy.
Was.
A lot of goals scored in the Flames Ducks game, too.
Last night, too. Ducks gave up 6. Quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth.
Your Sharks unable to pull it out a couple nights ago?
Well, not my Sharks.
I don't think so. I know who you ask. And I'm asking.
Question. And I have a question for you, Carey.
Sure.
Who do you think your Ravens are going to take in the NFL draft?
The Steelers were hoping that Shedeur Sanders falls to him, to them. That's what we're hoping for.
Okay.
Anthony?
Gotcha.
So I'm a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
It's the black and gold.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the Hawks of Hazelwood Central. All right, Cardinals and Phillies tonight. It'll be a 7:15 start time at Busch Stadium. Cardinals lineup: Lars Taylor, Tatsui Nupar is in left. He's leading off. Jordan Walker's in right, hitting second. What?
I'm reading the snake pit. I wonder sometimes, is he serious or is that sarcasm?
How many times has CD watched McDavid? Didn't he just say his first time watching him play the other day?
Oh, boy.
No,
That's serious?
Carey was.
Is he serious?
I don't know.
He's going to say now that he's not. But when you first read that, did that seem serious?
That does seem serious, yeah.
I was at Jamie's house watching Connor McDavid score a pretty important goal.
Yeah. Carey, Ryan, just for clarification, Carey was completely joking the other day.
No, I wasn't. I was serious. I'm just going to lean into it. Ryan, you believe whatever the hell you want to believe.
AB also has a really good question. Why does it have to be black and gold?
I don't make the rules, AB.
This show comes full circle. All right, again, Nupar in left. He's leading off. Jordan Walker's in right. Is it in second? Brian. Jeez, it's a Friday.
Brian Jordan?
No. I wish. Brandon Donovan is your DH tonight. He's hitting third. Nolan Arenado is playing third, and he's your cleanup hitter. Alec Burleson is at first, and he's hitting fifth. Pedro Pajes is your catcher, hitting sixth. Victor Scott II is playing center field and hitting seventh. Thomas Sajaci is playing second, hitting eighth, and Mason Wynn is your shortstop, and he's hitting ninth against Aaron Nola, who struggled a little bit. 0-2 with a 6.35 ERA.
I like Jordan Walker in the 2-0. I want to see what he does tonight. Hey, maybe he has a good night.
Yeah.
Against a pitcher who is struggling, but is
also a dominant fool.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I want to see what he does.
Cardinals fan happy tonight? You think? Because Wilson Contreras was kicked off the team, basically. Lineup. He was kicked out of the lineup.
They've been trying to get rid of that guy for a few years now, Anthony.
Yep.
Well, they don't know baseball. He'll be fine. He's fine. Okay?
Are you happy, though? Because Marsh, are you happy?
I think he should be playing.
Marsh, you got to be thrilled with this, because yesterday we were having this conversation.
What are you talking about?
And you said you have to move him out of the 2-hole. And Ollie said, I'll do you one better. He won't be in the damn lineup. So, where are you on this?
I'm not going to be like Carey and gloat about being right, but...
Well, not being right, but you got to be... I'm asking, are you happy? Like, are you thrilled with this move? Would this not be considered a good move by Ollie?
Are you not entertained?
Let's just wait, though. Like, let's wait till he gets back in the lineup, right? If he's back in the lineup tomorrow batting second, then...
Then no, okay.
Then, whatever
Then we're right back
legs
to
I
work.
have to stand on, they're not there,
Okay,
right?
got it. That's
but
fair.
if he's in the lineup tomorrow and he's batting like 5th or 3rd or whatever, then maybe we have something.
And we say a great move by Ollie.
No,
I
because
I just say
against
bad
the damn
take Anthony.
rules.
It doesn't work that way?
That's against the damn rules. You know this city doesn't say good job, Ollie. They don't ever say that. That's against the damn rules.
Yeah,
you
no,
know
Carey's
it in the
right on this
bylaws.
one.
You know it.
Okay, but Carey,
Nobody in the city ever says good damn job, Ollie.
Carey, can I ask
It's rule number 8.
It's rule. You wrote it down? Thank you, Marshy.
Carey, can I ask you a question, though?
Sure.
Just you and I?
Yeah.
I'm a little confused.
Oh, go ahead. What's up?
Because they didn't like that Wills Contreras was hitting second.
Anthony.
And this idiot Ollie had him second, and then he moved him out. Would
Ollie
that
didn't do
not be considered a good move?
It wasn't Ollie that did it.
It was an Ollie that did
Nope,
it.
somebody else did it. So they get the credit.
Ah.
Yep. Probably Gersh. We don't know what he does.
In between planning birthday parties. Special project.
Fredbird appearances.
It's now Fredbird. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We'll come back. We'll tell you what we learned. 3 stars of the day, all next on 101 ESPN.
All right, listen up. I want you guys to visit my friends over at Pure Performance. They're your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. And whether you got a brand new vehicle or you've got a vehicle that you are maybe a little bit bored looking at, well, spice it up. They got everything over there, and they've got accessories for every kind of vehicle. It's a Jeep or Bronco, pickup truck, SUV, car, minivan, you name it. They've got you covered. They also have tires for every kind of vehicle, not just the big off-road tires or the oversized tires. No, they've got everyday tires for your vehicle. So head in there and check it out. They also, by the way, have tires for your ATV, UTV, and golf carts, and they have a full-service garage. So while you're getting modifications done to your car, you can get brakes changed, oil changed, tune-up, you name it, or you can just bring it by there. The full-service garage is open all the time, and they're great at what they do. So please stop by, visit their 25,000 square foot facility. You're going to find something you love, I guarantee it. When you walk in, ask for Shelby or Paul. Tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in. But if you can't get there in person, please visit their website. That's pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or via the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. All the podcasts brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. Time to find out what everyone learned today. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Jamie would like to go
ahead,
first.
James.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's all right. If Carey wants to go.
No, go ahead.
You sure?
Nope, you got it.
Okay. What I learned today is that, man, am I thankful for sports in our lives. Because if we didn't have sports, I'd probably be homeless and living on the street and just
in Seattle.
Complete failure. A complete, there you go. A complete failure. So thank you for sports.
Thank you, sports.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
I learned that a cup of Joe was not invented in Rome, as Anthony once said, but actually in Italy.
Well, yeah.
Rome, Italy?
Rome, Italy.
I guess that's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm just glad I'm not the only one. Not as bad as mine, but in the neighborhood.
Other parts of Italy. Not in Rome.
Which is in Italy.
Yeah. Other parts. Not in Rome.
No. Other parts of Italy. Yeah. Somewhere in the boot.
Just piece that together.
Yep.
Very
You did.
slowly.
Marsh?
I learned that Lefty Grove
he
could not play for the Pittsburgh Crawfords.
Kind of disqualified. Don't know why. But,
Seed Stagen.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be on that team.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I learned that even when the four of us are laughing hysterically about our foolishness, ultimately, at least one listener will still take us seriously.
We have a good time.
It was fun. It's all good. All right, so that is what everybody learned today. Marsh, do we have any criticisms and compliments?
Yeah, the 314 says, I prefer my radio personalities to not be know-it-alls. You guys are doing great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's nice. That's good.
Is that a compliment?
That's kind of a crap sandwich.
Oh, no, that's a total crap sandwich. Yeah.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, that, not by definition a crap sandwich. That was more of an, as Jamie would say, an open face crap sandwich. Yeah, but
you
still
can choose to use the bread or not.
Right. So that was nice. That was nice. Good text.
We're getting a lot of compliments for Jim Montgomery. One from the 314 says, Monty is the fast lane man.
Yes, he is.
He is. He's awesome.
He's awesome.
Let's see. The 636 says, God, Monty is fast laning awesome.
Yeah. He is great.
You know, just to expound on that a little bit, like Monty gets it, man. He gets it. He has a job to do. He loves his job, and he comes on our show. He understands what the show is, and so he blends in nicely, you know?
That he does.
He's great.
Yeah. You get what you put in with the fast lane is what you get out of the fast lane, you know?
You know who told me that?
Who?
Don Beebe.
Don Beebe, Speed
Don
Camp?
Beebe.
Don Beebe's never been on this show.
You said that again?
Don Beebe's never been on this show.
He told me that, I said.
He told you that what you put in
the fast lane?
You get out of the fast lane?
No, well, not in those words.
Oh.
You get out what you put in.
Did he tell you to put on a bigger helmet?
Nope. No, that was... Yeah, no,
Okay.
that wasn't him.
That was. Don Beebe had the big helmet.
Wasn't that, that was Trasker.
Oh, yeah, Kyle...
Steve Trask.
Steve, no. Steve
Trasker. Is it Trasker? That's not right.
It doesn't sound right.
Don
Steve...
Tuttle.
What is his name?
It's Steve from Minecraft.
No.
Oh,
Steve.
Yes.
He also told me you can't put in what God left out. Meaning if you ain't got no heart.
Steve Tasker.
Tasker. Yeah.
Tasker at the big helmet.
If you don't have heart, you ain't gonna...
Don Beebe wore a big helmet too.
Okay. Don Beebe coached wide receivers at my high school.
Did he coach you? Was he there when you were there?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Oh, if he did, Anthony would have caught that ball.
I was on I played defense. I was a safety in a corner. He yelled
Why
at
were
me.
you taking kickbacks?
Well, we got the answer to that.
I wasn't
He was
supposed
trying to
to.
score.
I wasn't supposed to.
He was trying to score.
We stayed in base defense. My coach just said scoot back because I was a safety. He said scoot back, just let it bounce, let it go.
And Anthony said,
and I said fast lane that. This is my moment.
My time.
Have you seen Deion Sanders? You're about to.
Watch this. That was my only time taking a punt, and for good reason. But no, yeah, he yelled at me one time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You probably didn't do something
probably
right.
deserved it.
You probably definitely deserved it.
I didn't like
What'd
one
you
of the,
do?
I didn't like one of the wide receivers. I kept jumping the route. I knew what it was.
Oh, you were cheating.
Yeah.
You're that guy. Wow. That's like, I used to love that when the penalty killers in practice would jump the guy that's getting the puck. But guys, you were in the meeting too. Like you're the best ever.
In my defense, I didn't know which route it was going to be until the wide receiver, he opened up a certain way.
You knew what it was.
I knew what it was because I knew him.
Sure.
And I told Don he should coach. I said your wide receiver's opening up every time. Every time he's going to go outside, he opened up his stance.
You knew exactly what
I knew
he was
exactly
doing.
what it was. What am I going to do? I'm going to play dumb?
Smart player.
In front of Don Beebe?
Can't.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
So Don doesn't like me. Probably doesn't know who I am, but didn't like me then.
All
Go
right.
ahead, Marsh.
Yeah, 3 stars of the day.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 Stars of the Day. Presented by Circus Sports Illinois. Sports betting the way it should be.
All right, why don't we start there at number 3, late entry. Let's give it to Don Beebe.
Yeah.
House of Speed.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Second,
he yelled at Anthony.
He
did.
yelled to me.
Absolutely. Second star of the day, we'll give it to Lefty Grove. I
Lefty
guess.
Grove, yeah.
Crazy
sure.
name.
Yep. Lefty Grove or the Pittsburgh. No?
Not gonna play for
Okay,
them.
just Lefty Grove. Okay.
And of course, our first star of the day goes out to a Cup of Joe.
Cup of Joe. Cup of Joe.
Yes.
Nice job, guys. All right, we've got the Blues and Kraken tomorrow night for you. Got pregame. Got the full game for you on the home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. Jamie, nice job today, buddy. We'll see you next week, actually in studio.
Yes, in studio Monday.
First time all week, so looking forward to that. Have a great call tomorrow for the FanDuel Sports Network.
Thank you very much.
Buddy. That's Jamie Rivers. For our guy, Jamie Rivers, and Andrew Marsh, and Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. Everybody have a great weekend. Appreciate you being tuned in. See ya.